What's up, people? What is going on? Welcome back. Another episode of the O.O.C. Last week we went on hiatus, but we are back again today with a fire show. Got
Yes,
my
we are.
co-host in the house, Roberto. Talk to the people, sir.
What's going on, peeps, man? It's been a minute. I see we started off our show with two of our, how could I say it, legendary commentary peeps, the ones who was there from the get-go, coming back to back. We got Flash, and let me see if I can get it right because it's been a minute. Caleb. I've been chopping his name for how long? What's up, Jason Lee? Enough respect.
Absolutely. And I see that Flash has become a member. Thank you very much, Flash.
Oh,
Much appreciated
how
on
does that
that.
work?
It's a membership. You can put tiers, and then you could do certain things for members, which I haven't done yet, but I am gonna put some stuff together for members because I only have like six now, So I was hoping if I get more, then I could do like a live stream with the members or something like
Sweet.
that. So that would be fun, man. What about you? What do you got coming up?
Who, me?
Yeah, you.
Me, I'm on chill for a minute, man, because I
Explain.
just felt
Explain to the
like
people.
I'll explain to the people. I was riding on that YouTube and everything else, but it felt like I had a lot of time on my, to play with. Then I realized I didn't really have all that much time, man. Like, between playing hockey Tuesday night, coming home late, Thursday night, coming home late, trying to squeeze in a last minute golf here and there before the season's done. It's like, man, every night I'm doing something. The wife is missing me. So
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
got
I
to
feel
keep
you.
the fire, got to keep the fire all around. I can't be selfish.
Absolutely.
Selfish keeps you lonely. You know that. That's another show. That's another episode.
Facts. And I want to thank you guys for coming in. Caleb, man, haven't seen you in a while, so it's good to see you. Even Flash, I was thinking, where's Flash? Then he popped up on the cast list, and I was like, oh, Flash is in now. So
Look at
that's
that,
good to
huh?
know, man. Glad you
Nice to
guys have
see.
popped in. Think we got a fire show for you today. Um, few things to talk about. I think we'll get into the first topic. What's up, Tim Possible? How you
Tim
doing?
Possible, what up?
The first topic we will go on to. What do you want to do? You want to do the R. Kelly?
Yeah, why not? I saw some people had some opinions on that shit on Facebook, huh?
Yeah, they had some
Don't
opinions.
compare this. Don't compare. We live in a world of comparison, man. You gotta compare.
Exactly. So I want to bring up this article now. I wanted to read the article, but for some reason, this fucking thing it wants me to pay for it. But when I use it on my phone, it's good. So I'm gonna read a little bit from my phone. Guys, bear with me. My eyes are pretty bad, so it's hard to read.
What up, Commander?
Um, what up, Commander? How you doing, Dada? Thanks for popping in. What's up? Jesus, I almost
What's
forgot.
up,
Paul.
Paul?
That's it. Thanks for popping in, man. Great listening. You know what I mean? Thank you very much. So the article starts off, right? Oh, shit. I want way down below. Okay, let me go to the beginning. So R. Kelly is found guilty of all counts of, and faces life in prison. R. Kelly's conviction marked a stunning fall for a man who was once one of the biggest names in R&B music. It came after the first Me Too era trial in which most of the victims were black women. R. Kelly is going to prison. Why did it take so long? So the conviction of R. Kelly on all nine counts against him came as a significant moment to the Me Too movement for both black women and for the music industry, ushering in a sense that finally justice has been served. But the verdict on Monday also prompted an obvious question. Women have said that the singer's abuse began as early as the start of 1990s. Why did it take 3 decades for the singer to receive criminal punishment? Here's a few possible answers. Now, the entertainer had an expensive network of enablers around him. Federal prosecutors said from his closest confidants and employees to many of the music industries who knew of the concerns about his behavior but did not intervene. The government drew attention to what has been described as the settlement factor, that legal sorry, also that kept his accusers quiet, offering evidence of Mr. Kelly's payment to women who made accusations in change for their silence. And when that was not enough, Mr. Kelly used his henchmen to log threats and exact revenge, blackmailing women with nude photographs of themselves or embarrassing information, one prosecutor, Elizabeth Gates, said in closing arguments. Now, federal prosecutors also accused Mr. Kelly of paying witnesses to not cooperate with the authorities in the lead up to his 2008 trial and acquittal. They said the singer let some witnesses know they could be subject to physical harm if they proceeded. So that's where I'll stop there for now. What do you think on that, Roberto?
Let me just say what up to Mr. Tony Robinson.
What up, brother? Thanks for popping in.
Uh, you know what? Had that, I saw you make comparison to him and Elvis and who else?
There was a lot. There was Elvis. There was
That
the
that
dude
that
that married
fucking
his
director
cousin,
I can't stand. I can't
Harvey
stand him.
Weinstein. There's
Not
Harvey
Weinstein, that
Weinstein.
fucking guy there. He does all his movies in New York. He's a Jewish guy. Married that married his ex-wife's adopted daughter.
Oh, Woody Allen.
Woody Allen. Can't
Hmm.
stand that guy, yo.
Yeah, I know.
Anyways, it's just unfortunate for R. Kelly that it happened in a time of enough information. You know, like you're defending a machine gun of accusations now, opposed to back in the day. You could pay people off, you could threaten people, you can make people disappear. Like now, there's so many means for people to speak, and speaking out is the new thing.
Hmm.
Because I mean, you see more and more women speaking out, and they have the right to. My beef is, like one of them said, why does it take so long? I understand, Danny could come in and tell us, even though the evidence is right there, they have to do their investigations. But if that's the case, you're letting a predator run free and do his will while you're doing your investigation. So, what's to say you're not guilty in allowing this guy to continue to do what he's doing to other minors, you knowing?
Hmm.
You know what I mean? There's just so
You
many
see,
questions, not enough answers, man.
this is the thing I was talking about, which was the enablers, right? Like for
Yes.
years, the industry, he has been doing this stuff supposedly for years since Alea, right? He married her, she was underage, nothing. There was nothing going on because he was bringing in the money. You know what I mean? And then, hey, I'm gonna play this video because I had another video that I wanted to play. Like I said, I was coming with a lot of things for this
Did you
episode
watch the
today.
documentary on this guy? I haven't seen it.
Surviving R. Kelly?
Yeah,
Absolutely.
I haven't
100%
seen
I
it.
watched it. 100% I watched it.
Did it poison
Um,
you?
no, no, it
You
didn't.
felt the same
I
way after from before
right
you watched
because
it?
I still have a lot of issues with some of the things, right? Okay. So first off, I'm gonna explain one thing right away. Like the minute R. Kelly found out these girls were illegal or whatever, like the underage, he should have been fuck that, check me when you're 18, 19, 21, whatever, right? But when he was going through his first trial, and this is on surviving R. Kelly, when he was going through his first trial, there was a girl there who was underage who was following the trial like constantly and reached out to him, like tried to find him, tried to talk to him. Now, this is why I say he should have been the man and been like, nah, I can't do that shit, right? But at the end of the day, she looked for him. So I
Okay.
wanted to play this video that I seen today because there was a woman that did a stream with Judge Joe Brown and they were talking about it. I didn't get to watch the whole video, so I couldn't pick out the parts where they were actually talking about it. But she did
Okay.
play this video at the beginning of it because R. Kelly's trial, what he was guilty of was racketeering. That's what they got him on. So I wanted to show this video to explain to you guys just a little bit something. So pay close attention to this. It's a 7-minute video. We'll watch the whole thing. If Roberto, if you have something to say, I'll pause it and then we'll continue. Right. So
Hmm.
let's listen to this for a bit.
in this case under the RICO statute. But I still think that there are problems with this case. I mean, the allegations are horrible and they're disgusting, but
Absolutely.
there are still problems with this case because these complainants were there voluntarily. They were seeking him out. And so to say that he was, a predator and going after these individuals is problematic, I believe, for the government.
Defense attorney for Kelly brought a lot of passion to his closing arguments. You could feel it. There was energy. He was captivating, engaging, and it was shorter than we heard from the prosecution. Probably that punctuated brevity that they were going for with their case and the evidence that they presented, but didn't really flow the same way. But this, I think, was a lot more compelling to this jury in the way that he laid out their arguments. He was raising his voice at times, and he accused the government of trying to hide the bag in this case, tried to mislead this jury. Here's a bit from his closing argument. Koenig said that the government gave you information that was misleading. They want you to believe that Kelly was targeting these Jane Does. He didn't have to target women. His label promoted him as a playboy sex symbol. And at some point, he started to live that playboy sex symbol lifestyle. Where's the crime in that? He went on to compare it to the lifestyle of Hugh Hefner. We even heard him talk about a relationship that's a May-September relationship or romance, one that involves an older man, a younger woman. He said that's something you may not be into, but
hold on, let me pause for a second. You're absolutely right, Paul. He has the ability to check his age, right?
I was just going to say that because when they made mention, his lawyer, that he portrayed the Playboy, lived the Playboy lifestyle with adults.
Mm-hmm.
Now, that doesn't give you the right to be with minors.
Mm-hmm.
And if you feel, or someone even remotely tells you they're a minor, like Paul said, it's your diligence to look into that, because if you don't,
absolutely.
This is what happens.
Absolutely, especially when you are this high profile of an artist, right?
Mm-hmm.
Not only that, I
gotta think
do
about
believe,
that.
if I'm not mistaken, and I can't remember from the video, but I believe the one that I said searched him out actually told him her age. So I think she told how old she was really, and he still actually like went for it. You know what I mean? And I'm just like, bro, like I seen a joke just the other day. What up, Danny? What's going
What's
on,
up,
man?
Danny?
I seen a joke just the other day. Dude was actually just today. Dude was like, "Yo, if I had been R.Kelly when I got off the first time, he was like, you wouldn't have seen me with no woman older than like 80 years old. You know what I mean? Like he should have been like that. You got
Just
off the first time.
disappear. You have money, you have some fame. You still have a bit of a face. You're not in the media as much as you were. You could have went anywhere.
Mm-hmm. But I wouldn't even say disappear because he didn't have to disappear after the first time, right? But what he should have done is stop fucking with these young girls. Like, are you
That's what I mean
stupid?
by disappear. Get out of this scene. Because you
Oh yeah,
can't,
yeah.
you already, it's like the klepto theory, right?
Mm-hmm.
You're a klepto. You claim you're revived. You're no longer a klepto. Something goes missing in my house. Bam. I'm looking right at you. You're my first suspect, regardless if you were there or not. You're a klepto.
Mm-hmm.
So if he's a pedophile and you see a young, sweet young girl next to him, you know he's just not signing an autograph.
Oh, absolutely.
Even if he is, right?
Absolutely. Right.
That's the problem.
So
He
let's get
thought he's
back.
probably bigger than the law. He got the God complex.
Yeah. He thought he was untouchable. Let's get back to this.
it's
I
not a
think his
crime.
people were too
He
afraid
even
to
said that
lose.
Their
Sorry.
job. Yeah. No. Keep going.
Lose
Go ahead.
lose that paper, lose that, traveling, that whole experience.
Mm-hmm.
They'll just close their eyes like everybody else in the industry. You're gonna tell me none of Weinstein's people knew what he was doing?
Right. Well,
Come on, man.
everybody knows what they're doing, bro. In the
Everybody
industry,
knows.
you know what I mean? It's the talk of the town. Like and especially if you go watch some of these old documentaries, you see Damon Dash. Damon Dash actually says when him and Jay-Z did that album together, like he's nowhere to be seen. And at first I was like, I never noticed that. And then I went back and checked it. and I wasn't 100% sure, but I could have swore I seen him in a video, but I'd have to go back and check that again. But yeah, he said he wasn't fucking with them, so everybody knew, right? It's not like it was a hidden secret. Everybody knew. But let's continue.
That the government is trying to criminalize things like the word daddy, the thing that some of the accusers said that Kelly required his live-in girlfriends to call him. The defense attorney asked, how is that not a term of endearment? Even saying that the former vice president, Mike Pence, called his own wife mother, trying to show that just different people in different relationships have different ways of doing things. And he asked these jurors, here's another part of that closing argument, where's the predator? Kelly treated these women like gold, shopping sprees and spas, purses that cost more than cars. They may not be the couple or type of relationship that you would endorse, but they aren't married, so it wasn't polygamy. They weren't breaking any laws. They all bought into it. They were consenting adults. And he also went in on these Jane Does. He first said that Kelly always asked any women that he was around, and we did hear that through testimony, how old they were when meeting him. And he says that Kelly vehemently denies having sex with Jane Doe number 4, called her a stalker, a groupie extraordinaire. And he said that Jane Doe number 5, who is someone who has accused the defendant of getting with her when she was 17 years old, says that she had no skills and that living with Kelly was the best type of living that she ever had. And he also questioned Jane Doe number 3, one who testified that Kelly kept her in a dark room for days, that her rape claims were unfounded because there was no police report or a rape kit. A lot of allegations, but it was clear that he knows this case very well, despite being someone who came into this case later in the prosecution and the continuing of this case. But I think a very compelling job from the defense when you compare the two closing arguments.
I'll start with you, your reaction to what we heard from the jury today in that note.
You know, I don't know why the jury is taking so long to render a verdict in this case. You know, you got to be clear on what R.Kelly is being charged with. He's not being charged with statutory rape. Everyone says, oh, he's having sex with young girls or underage girls. He's not being charged with statutory rape. He's not being charged with forceful rape. He's being charged with racketeering, which says that the only reason he has a music career, not because he likes music, the only reason he makes albums and tours is to entice women to have sex with him. That is what a criminal organization is, and it has to be the sole purpose. And he's also charged with violations of the Mann Act. The Mann Act was a group of legislation from 1911 or 10 that was used to prosecute black men for dating white women. One of the famous people who was prosecuted for that was Jack Johnson, the first black heavyweight champion in the world, for having a white girlfriend and driving her across state lines that he was convicted of. And now they've resurrected the Mann Act and are charging R.Kelly with it. So I know people think, yes, he's been with underage women. He may have even drugged them and raped them, but he's not being charged with any of those crimes. He's not being charged with rape of an intoxicated person. He's being charged with racketeering, running a criminal organization. The basis for his music career and his touring was to entice women to have sex with him. And that is an easy question for a jury to answer. There's no evidence that that is the sole reason that he does music. You know, I mean, we didn't indict Hugh Hefner to say that the sole reason he ran the Playboy Mansion was to entice women to have sex with him. So I really think this is a witch hunt.
You know what? But I think that was the reason Hugh Hefner set that whole thing up. Bernarda Villalona, your thoughts about the note?
Let me pause it for a second. Go ahead, Roberto. What you have to say?
I have to agree with what that guy said and disagree with what the other guy said when he mentioned Hugh Hefner. Hugh Hefner didn't get life. There's no difference between Hugh Hefner and what this guy just described R. Kelly did.
That's what he was saying. That's why he's mentioned the name.
How are they going to prove that this guy became famous to seduce women? And let me ask you a question. Isn't that what most singers do? Why don't they put Bon Jovi up on there? Bon Jovi still has women holding her punash at concerts. This man's like 60 years old. You think he's doing it because he has energy? He plays a good guitar?
See, the problem is they couldn't get him on the sex stuff. So they had to do like I read an article. Yeah, they were like, oh, the prosecution had to get really creative. So they used the Mann Act and they used racketeering.
No, that's not creative. That's more desperate. That's desperate. You're going to say that this is a criminal organization when you have just one man?
Well,
Where's the organization?
Well, this is the thing, right? So now with this, I believe that they're able to charge anybody else. You see, this is the thing, and Judge Joe Brown started to bring it up on that clip too, which I wanted to bring up as well, right? What he was saying was, even though it's a one man, they don't have to charge everybody else. As long as they feel that he's the head of it, they can charge him and only him. So they can put charges on everybody else after them, but if they want to, they only have to go after they can only go after him, or they only have to go after him if they want to. Anzo, look it up. Do you have your passport? Ha ha ha. Look what up, Paul. Doing something to get laid is what all men do. Right. That's exactly it. You know what I mean? What's up, Mads?
Mads comes in like that, huh?
But that's exactly it. Like singers, all these guys, that's what they do. They sing for women.
Especially, wait, you're gonna tell me Luther Vandross
is singing
and
for
all of
me?
these guys? You know what I mean? You know what I mean? I don't think so. All of those guys, you know, R.Kelly was tops back in them days to singing to the ladies, and if you wanted to get a lady, you drop some R.Kelly tunes because he knew what to say to them, right? But that's music, man. I don't understand. Like,
and I'm gonna say
so
this again,
twisted,
again, guys. I'm saying this again. Like, when you find out that these women are underage, you should be like, nah, I can't do it. But I've been 16, and I've watched these 16-year-olds that I went to school with fuck all the older men in the school, bro. I seen them do it. They did
not
that
only
shit
in the school,
for free.
at clubs, everywhere.
You know what I mean? Like, I seen them do it for free. So let's not act like it doesn't happen. Let's not act like, you know, when you're 16 years old, that's the age where you think you fucking know everything. And it is so hard for people. It's so hard for people to understand that, you know what I mean, like control them. Like 16 is when you start to rebel against your parents and you start to do certain things. Again, he should have been the man and be like, nah, man, like, you 16, what the fuck am I doing with you? You know what I mean? Like, especially as a 20, what is it, 30-year-old man, like, what do you have in common with a fucking 16-year-old, bro?
Yeah. These girls could be maybe built like a woman, but you just gotta, talk to them for a while, make a joke, do something, and you'll see their true colors of their age. It's almost impossible for a girl to play the role of a woman and fool a man, unless that man wants to be fooled. I'm sorry, because there's just, even the way they walk. You could tell the difference between a woman walking and a girl walking. I don't know about you, Anzo, but I studied people walking for a long time, and I could, call me weird, call me whatever you want, but I could literally tell you if it's a woman or a girl just by the way they walk.
Gotcha.
Woman walks with authority, like girls walk like they're unsure, they're still like the training wheels are still on, they're fast, they're short steps. Women walk with authority.
Yeah, I feel you.
Maybe R.Kelly had a small thing too, so that's why he couldn't handle women. You want.
You know what? You may be right. You're right.
Be.
You know what I mean?
Could be.
He
got called out, and he said, "Never again." You ruined my career.
Right. I agree with that 100%. And hold on, Danny said something here that I wanted to get into real quick. I switched it up, but I didn't know. Danny said, the Mann Act charge is BS. The issue with Hefner is that he never had accusations. All the females associated with Hefner were all adults. At least that's my understanding. I would say yes, but I'm pretty sure there were some underage girls there, man.
I would say there was one or two in there.
I would like
to think.
Had
because a
to have
lot of
been.
those 16, 17-year-old girls were models back then.
Paul, yeah, exactly. Paul said, R. Kelly sings songs to Ethiopian women. Do you have your passport? He was trying to traffic girls as well. I don't know where you get that from, bro, but nah. Sorry, nah. You see, that's the problem. People are gonna now take all the lyrics from his songs and be like, "Oh no, this is what he meant. This is what he meant. This is what he meant." Nah, bro. I'm
This
sorry.
is
That's
the age of conspiracy theory, man. This is the age.
you know what I mean.
People disinfect the people dissect everything, yo.
And I'm gonna say this straight up, like I said before, and I'm gonna say it again. I'm still gonna listen to his music. His music has gotten me through the hardest times of my life. I can separate the music from the man. His music is bangers. You know what I mean? Like I enjoy listening to R. Kelly's music, and I'm not gonna be sitting here now when he's singing, when I'm listening to "Feeling on Your Booty." Oh my God, R. Kelly's talking about a young girl or whatever. I'm not gonna do that. I like the song for what it is, and I'm gonna still listen to it. I mean, if that offends some people, I'm sorry. But at the end of the day, like I said, when I was in my house and I was depressed and I wanted to kill myself, it was R. Kelly's music that kept me through. So for that, I'm always gonna listen to his music. It's just gonna be like that. I won't buy it. You know what I
If
mean?
anybody thinks that you listening to R. Kelly's music means you support him
Right.
and you justify his thoughts, you are those people.
Yeah, for real.
I'm
For
going to
real.
give you a label now, those people,
For real.
because there's just so many of you. I can't classify you as one. There's just so many of you.
No, I agree with you 100%. Like even when I posted the thing on Facebook, right? You heard the thing already. Oh, don't you
I
know what I
read a
mean?
few. I read
And
a
I'm
few, and I'm
and I'm
like,
like, no, you guys, I'm not condoning the shit that he did. I'm not. Do I believe some of the stuff that he did? Yeah, I do. I do believe it. Do I think some of it is also like exaggerations? Yes, I do. Like when you're telling me that, oh, he kept a woman in the dark for like 3 days with no food or nothing like that. I don't believe that. Because that right then you're like basically almost committing murder. I don't believe that. You know what I
okay,
mean?
here it is in black and white, Anzo. Again, if people don't understand it, they're those people. If he is guilty of all the stuff that people are saying, like if we could just jot down on a whiteboard all of the accusations on this guy, if they are true, why aren't any of them being held up in court other than racketeering? They're trying to
Because they can't prove it.
deface this guy,
Mm-hmm.
deface him, spread it out there, all these lies, defame him, go after him for something else. Which one's he gonna battle? Which one's he gonna be distracted by? You know what I mean?
Exactly. Paul said there's a clip of him singing it on Onzo. It's very weird, and the context of this is clear. No. First off, send me the clip because you're talking about a clip on YouTube that could already be taken out of context, right? This is the way R. Kelly is. I followed his career from the start. I know the type of songs he sings. I know the things he says in his songs. It has nothing to do with him trying to traffic girls from Ethiopia. I don't
Your
even think he
body
would
on my
want.
body.
Yeah,
Where's the hidden message in that?
I don't think he would even want a chick from Ethiopia, to be honest with you.
No disrespect to our Ethiopian
Right,
sisters.
right. No disrespect, absolutely. But he got chicks in America, these young little girls. Yeah, he ain't gonna bring a. I don't believe that. But
This guy could, like,
show me the clip. I'll play it.
somebody wrote there, he could have had 21-year-olds, 22-year-olds. The boys would say, "You're still balling, Kelly. You still
Hmm.
got them young girls
Yeah,
wanting
yeah,
you."
yeah,
But
yeah.
when you're going after kids, and I'm a
Hmm.
man that has two daughters, I'm sorry, R. Kelly, but I would have to choke you out if I saw you with my
Oh, 100
underage
percent.
daughter. I would have to choke you out and maybe take a shot at a couple of your entourage boys.
One
But
hundred
that
percent.
would never happen.
And you see, now this is where another thing comes in. The parents of these girls, right? Like some of
Like
them
the parents in
actually
Michael Jackson shit.
they were getting paid from R. Kelly. Like R. Kelly, yes, he was using his influence 100%. Oh, yeah, I'm going to make you a star. Don't worry, baby, this and that. I can guarantee he was doing that 100%.
Buying them clothes, purses, He said it.
Taking care of the parents' bills. Because if you watch the Surviving R. Kelly video, that's what's talked about. Like some of those parents were getting money from him. Like that's a fact. They were getting money from him. He was paying bills. He was doing all of this stuff. So they are enablers as well. And I think that everybody like should be absolutely taken down. Like if you're gonna take him down, you take back the music industry, the producers, everybody that turned a blind eye to what the fuck he was doing. That's what I believe. I believe everybody should be held accountable, because if you're just gonna hold the artist accountable, right, then it's gonna continue. There's gonna be other people that are doing it if they're not doing it now.
Did you see what Mads wrote there about his songs? Keep it on the down low, trapped in the closet.
Yeah, I'm gonna get to those ones first.
Keep it on the down low to me is like a married couple.
Yeah, that's exactly
making love while the kids are home.
No, it's about cheating.
Keep it on the DL, babe.
It's about cheating.
Well, you could define it how you want. Because me, the down low is like,
Mm-hmm. No, but I know. But if you listen to the song, no, it's about.
So what if it's cheating? People are cheating, Nzo.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm just telling
I'm saying how people will twist things, like you said earlier. They'll grab it, 100%. Trapped in the closet.
Yeah.
It could be a reference to a horror movie. How many horror movies had fucking people trapped in a closet,
Well, again, if you watch the video, right, because he has a whole series of Trapped in the Closet, you understand what he means by it. Because in the first song, he's trapped in the closet while the girl's husband comes home. So that's part of the song. But people are going to take it.
Right. I just don't remember the video.
Right, but people are going to make it and twist it. No, that's not what he meant. Subliminal message and all kinds of stuff like that.
He was under the bed and shit too, right?
Yeah.
I remember that video.
Also, Hefner came through during a different time than R. Kelly. You know how we say some TV shows we saw back in the day wouldn't be able to be watched during this time.
You're right, Danny.
Yeah.
We said that. Even Elvis, different time. Mm-hmm. I even said it because had that shit happened now, with how people are so sensy and information is everywhere, they might feel it just the same way.
Absolutely, 100%.
It's just hard to see, that they went after Bill Cosby. It's just so quick to persecute a brother, man, so quick to ruin him before he's actually found guilty.
Oh, well, R. Kelly was found guilty, so.
No, but I'm just saying in cases of black men,
famous
black men, before they're actually found guilty, they are ruined.
Absolutely. Oh, here's Yello Does It, which is supposed to come in the second hour if he still wants to. But if it was your daughters, would you still be listening to his music? But you see, I wouldn't.
You got a point there.
But I wouldn't be in that situation. Like that situation would not happen because I think a lot of these parents were like, "Oh, you can make my daughter a star," so they looked a blind eye to certain shit. And I would not do that. Like after the first accusation, there is no fucking way that he would be alone with my daughter. There's no way. Like if you're like, oh, you got to come to the studio and do this. All right, so I'll be there with her. No, you can't come in. Well, then she won't be there. It's just not going to happen. I'm not going to do that because this is exactly what happened with Sparkle. Okay, Sparkle's niece is the first one in the video. The first video that came out is Sparkle's niece, and Sparkle was fighting to make sure that she was not alone with R. Kelly at any time. But I think he had her personal information, like her number or whatever, or this and that. He was able to contact her directly. And for me, no. You contact me. You don't contact her. She is underage. She is 16, however old she was. You don't contact her. You contact me. I don't give a fuck what you can do for her. I don't care. You understand? Hey, I'll be fucking struggling and broke before I ever leave my daughter with someone that had these accusations against him. Whether they were fake or not, whether I believed them or not, I would still have it in the back of my mind. Plus, there was already a video of him pissing on the girl. The girl that he pissed on was Sparkle's niece. So this is what I'm saying. So I would not be in that situation. I listen to his music now because his music got me through a lot of times in my life. Hey man, if anybody don't want to listen to his music, then I'm not gonna say you're wrong for not listening to it. But you can't tell me that I'm wrong for listening to it or that anything like that, because I don't condone anything that he's done, but his music was banging. That's just the way I feel about it.
It's just a comment there I'm reading that Paul wrote that Weinstein got destroyed. I don't know about destroyed, because this man was still walking the streets and playing like nothing happened when everything was coming out, and it seemed like it was only for a minute. Then no one's talking about Weinstein anymore. What happened to him? Where is he? Is he doing time? Is he still in court? Whatever happened to Weinstein? Is he in jail?
I think he is in jail now.
We should know. Everybody knows Bill Cosby was in jail. Everybody knows R. Kelly is going to jail. But how come we don't know for sure? I don't know what happened to Weinstein. I know he was in headlines for a minute. There was multiple people making accusations, like fucking stadiums making accusations, and then something happened with the Taliban, and then you don't hear about this guy anymore.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm telling you. I don't know if this guy went to jail. I don't know if he paid a fine. I don't know how many counts he was found guilty on. I don't know jack shit because they chose not to put it out there no more. But Paul's trying to make it sound like he was all over it. He got destroyed. Destroyed how? He's guilty.
I would have to look up on
Bill Cosby. They fucking removed him from the Walk of Fame before he was found guilty. That's what I'm talking about. Destroying a man.
Mm-hmm.
They fucking destroyed him.
R. Kelly was molested when he was young. For some reason, it seems that when people have been tragically violated when they were children, they have demons as they get older and grown. Yeah, I did hear that, and I'm not going to use that as an excuse because I know there's people that have been molested and have gotten through it, but I get it. Everybody handles things differently. Mm-hmm. Sometimes if that's what you're shown, then you, like a kid that was abused as a child by his parents usually ends up to abusing their children or their spouse or their wife. So yeah, I understand that, but I still don't want to make that as an excuse because at the end of the day, you can make your own decision for that. You know what I mean? I don't know what I was doing when his music, did I play it at that dance when that girl, I have no idea what you meant by that, but you don't know what the music means to you.
Because he was a cocksucker and he thought his shit didn't smell. Because in that industry, it's pure hush hush. Somebody spoke out and the ripples took place after. But this guy touched too many people the wrong way to only get 23 years, to not still be talked about, to not still be getting defaced. That's what I'm trying to talk about. His shit was silent. Like, I couldn't tell you. I watch a lot of TV. I watch a lot of news. I couldn't tell you what he got. I see 23 years because you wrote it, Paul. You know what I mean?
Sure. Yeah, Danny wants to come on as well. So yeah, Danny, absolutely. I will send you the link for that. So here, just a coincidence. He kept girls in his closet. Yeah, that's the key word, allegedly, right? So they can say whatever they want to
on them.
They can say whatever they want to. Like,
you don't make, nobody's making sense. Did you play that tape? Did everyone hear it correctly? He's being charged for racketeering, not for rape, not for abuse, not for fondling minors. Racketeering. Mm-hmm. He's running an enterprise.
And that's
how are they going to prove that? How are they going to prove that?
And that's what. Well, I don't know how they
must have something to come up with it.
Well, they found him guilty of it, bro. That's what he's going to jail.
He's already found guilty. He already got life.
Yeah, Monday. It's 10 to life that he could receive for that.
He could, right? Okay, but he didn't get a sentence yet.
No, he didn't get a sentence yet. He didn't. His sentence is going to be May 4th. The facts are he groomed Alea, he groomed others, and he got done for another crime instead. Yes, he did get, but the crime that they are getting him for is bullshit. Like, it's racketeering, right? Those are the things that they use to take down mob bosses, right? They don't use that to take down artists. They use it to take down mob bosses. So they're basically comparing R. Kelly to a mob boss. this is my point. Like, you know what I mean? Harstein got 23 years in prison. Okay, so I didn't know if he got years in prison. I would definitely check that out.
That's the thing I'm trying to say, Nzo. Neither of us knew, right?
Yeah. It was like under wraps, but that's the thing. The
It's
Bill
probably
Cosby shit.
23 years house arrest.
The Bill Cosby shit was everywhere, right? As soon as it happened, boom, Bill Cosby. And then you get a little, oh, Harvey Weinstein went to jail for so and so, you know? It was all over the media and destroyed publicly. I guess because you said you followed the case. I guess if you were following the case, I wasn't really following it, so I never seen any conclusion to it. But yeah, I do believe I hear that he did go to jail. Weinstein was not famous but more powerful. R.Kelly is a superstar. Of course, he's going to be
when you take down power, you see, R.Kelly is a rat like many. Like Weinstein is like when you catch the head of an organization, because these guys like Weinstein think they're untouchable. Like that fucking doctor who raped all those U.S. Olympic girls. That's you catching the big fish there. That shit should be in the public's eye like 3D all the time for the crimes these guys did. But it's a minute thing.
He did the same thing to Al Capone. Yeah, they got Al Capone for not paying his taxes, right? That's understandable. But you're talking about an artist and you're getting him for racketeering. So what you're saying is, and they say it in this video, is that he wasn't trying to be an artist. He was doing it so that he could racketeer the girls. Like this is the bullshit that they try to put out there. And that's not true.
Some of those people believe it, right?
Right. If you want to get them for the sex stuff, then be all for it. But when you're making up these kind of fucking charges and shit, right? And the reason why they were able to get him on the Mann Act is because I believe, you see, what happened is certain states, the legal age of consent is 16. So what he did was, and I'm not sure if I remembered all the details correctly, but what he did was took a 16-year-old to a state where it was legal. That's what he did, and that's why they were able to get him on the Mann Act, right? So it's just weird to me, man, that this is what they're trying to get him for. Like, come on, if you're gonna do, and the reason why they can't do the sex thing is because they don't have the proof for that. If they did, that's what they would have got him on. They would have got him on the sex, the statutory rape. They would have got him for all of that shit, but they couldn't get him for that stuff.
Pedophiles inside, right?
Right, exactly. Well, he still has the stigma of being a pedophile, so that's not going to change. But there is a little bit more to this video.
You know the whole first question when you go inside.
Oh yeah, what you in for?
What you in for? Yeah. Racketeering, son. I'm in for racketeering. Yeah, okay, you got a spot, C block down there, a tree. The lunch is this and that, you know. He's safe. He ain't lying. That's what it says on the paper, racketeering. So maybe he's happy with that shit.
Yeah,
because he go in there and say pedophile boy. Them guys are like carving that knife and fork, saying, "Son, it ain't gonna be nice here for you."
So maybe they couldn't convict him on other crimes, and this was the only one they had proof for. Yeah, that's exactly it. Because, like I said, in the article I read, and I can't find it, but there was like, oh, they had to get creative to charge him. That's what they did. Now he also has more charges. Like he has more trials. Like other states he has court dates in other states. So he's going to get convicted for this one, and he's probably going to get convicted for the rest ones, and guarantee you he's probably going to spend the rest of his life in jail. Like that's it. Racketeering covers several crimes such as murder, money laundering, financial crimes, kidnapping, and sexual extortion of children. It's kind of like a catch-all. That's how they got him. And that's what they said in the video too, that the racketeering is very vague, like what you can do with it. It's very vague, right? Yeah, Danny, I'm going to send you the link in a bit. We're just going to finish the rest of this video, and then you can pop in. So give me 1 second, and let's hear what else they had to say.
Vote sent out by the jury.
So it was a note that I expected. I just didn't expect it so quick. I'm glad actually that the exhibits weren't sent back to the jury as soon as they started deliberating, because that note gave us some insight as to what they're focusing on now at the beginning of their deliberations, and that being Sonia's testimony, Jane Doe number 3, as well as that letter about Jane Doe number 5. Specifically about that letter, what insight it gives us is that the jury has some pause about the credibility about Jane Doe number 5 as to, did this really happen? You did send a letter that, well, not sent a letter, but you wrote a letter that he treats you with the utmost respect, that there's nothing going on here. And it goes to the theme that the defense had, that, look, these ladies here, you heard of the show Surviving R.Kelly, but instead what you have here is surviving off of R.Kelly, and that this case is full of lies, full of greed, people that want to make money off of R.Kelly, but that none of this is true. There was some consensual relations. You may think that it's not normal. It may not be your cup of tea, may be too kinky for you, but guess what? That's just how R.Kelly got down, and that's how these ladies wanted to get down with him. So I like the note just for us, for our curiosity, to give us something to think about over the weekend. But you can tell that this jury is looking at both the prosecution's case as well as the cross-examination by defense counsel and their closing arguments.
So what I'll also say is that I did actually watch the press conference, right? And they asked the prosecutor, they asked her a question. And one of the questions was about the jury not believing one of the witnesses, her complaints. I don't know what they didn't believe, but there was something that she said happened to her that they did not believe. So when I think about it that way, I'm just like, so is it not possible that a lot of the stuff that has been said was for TV, because they had that series Surviving R.Kelly, where it could have been the fact that some of it is exaggerated, right? I watched that video. There was one episode where a mother is going to look for her daughter. She finds out what hotel she is in. She is there by herself. No R.Kelly there. Nobody is there but her. And she does not want to speak to her mom. Like literally, no, get away from me. Nothing, this and that. They ended up getting her out of the apartment later on, right? I think they tricked her or something like that. I can't remember how they did, but they end up getting her out of her, gets her stuff, and then she leaves. But at first, she did not want to speak to her mom. So I'm just...
How old was she? Did they say?
I don't remember if she was of age at the time. I think she was of age at the time. So before Danny comes in, I want to share this, because this is exactly what I am telling you about things getting taken out of context. All right. You don't get the whole show. You just get one little clip of R.Kelly singing, "Do you have your passport?"
I got it. Do you have your passport? Did you get your shots? Girl, would you like to come back with Rob to America? America. Do you have your passport? Did you get your shots? Girl, would you like to come back?
Is this an actual song?
America.
It's not. It's a one song he has. This, you see, this is the thing. I'll stop this because we got enough of that. But that's the stuff he does in his concerts, right? He does stuff like that. He ad-libs, you know. He has a song called "Feeling on Your Fucking Booty," bro. You know what I mean? Like, that's the stuff that he does. Like, I'm not gonna sit here and say because he's sitting there singing, "Do you have your passport?" to people in Ethiopia, and I don't know, man.
You know what's funny though? When you see somebody and then you get some information
Twitter,
that totally warps your look of that person, and then from that point on, you just can't see the person the same anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Isn't that fucking creepy?
Yeah. But there are a lot of people.
I mean, we grew up, R. Kelly was a legend.
Yeah.
That whole peeing stuff back then was just like jokes, man. He peed on somebody. Maybe he had to go, you know. Sometimes it slips, whatever. There were jokes. We never really took it serious. But look where it's come to, man. I mean,
Go ahead. Sorry for cutting you off. Go ahead.
I'm not trying to say that it's right what he was doing.
For Danny.
It just felt like it was a whole lot different back then, you know?
And this is the thing, right? And this is another, you see, I completely forgot. You just brought it up to me now. This is another thing that I wanted to bring up too. I seen a video, I think Abba appreciated it, right? There was this girl, and I think they called her the doo-doo girl, right? I think this is what they called her. But she was talking about the things that she has done for money, right? And she was like pretty much crying, and she said she did this, was doing a video, man, and she couldn't say no, so the guy brought out a bowl, right? And I'm appreciative, they stopped the video and they're like, if you're in a video and they bring out a bowl, nothing good is gonna happen. So you know what they wanted her to do, bro? They gagged her. So she threw up in the bowl, right? They gagged her until she threw up. She threw up in the bowl. The dude peed in the bowl and made her drink it. And she drank it.
That's a video?
Well, she was talking about it. I don't know if there's an actual video of it. I believe there might be.
People in
this is
world,
my point, right? So yeah, I get it. R.Kelly the peon, but they call that the golden shower, bro. There's people out there that like to do that. There's videos of fucking
There's all kinds of fetishes out there that are gonna twist your face, but it works for some people.
Right. Like to me, I'm like, I ain't fucking peeing on nobody. Ain't nobody peeing on me, right? They have 2 girls and 1 cup, bro. 2 girls and 1 cup. Have you ever seen that video? You don't want
to. I'm not interested to see it, yo.
You don't want to. Your cousin sent it to me a long time ago, right? When I first got on the internet.
Let me guess, Craig?
Nah, his brother. His brother was like, hey, you ever see 2 girls, 1 cup? I was like, nah, man, what's 2 girls, 1 cup? He's like, here, check this out. And I almost puked, bro. Like, I was like, what the fuck is this? You know what I mean? So there are fetishes out there. I guess that was one of his fetish. What up, Danny? What's going on? What's going on? What you got to say on the matter?
Boy, I tell you, you have some talks, boy. I'd be like scratching my head, like, why is this person bringing this up?
Trying to get that fire going, brother.
You don't have Facebook, right? I saw him post that thing, and I read two threads, and I just shook my head and I said, Nzo just wants to start trouble on here, right? He's gonna answer everybody back. I know this guy.
One thing I want to say is that this racketeering and this man act thing, I never heard of before this particular case, but I did some research. And I think one of the reasons why I did because statutory rape in a lot of states has a statute of limitations.
Yes,
which
that's
means
what they
that after 10 years, 15, whatever the statute is, you can't charge it. But racketeering has no statute of limitations. I mean, you can charge it. So it's like one of those catch-alls. And sometimes in law enforcement, if you know that there is a particular evil or crime doer out there, and you got evidence that he did this, but not that, then you're charged with that, try to get him out of the street. Sometimes there's some practices that, like a drunk driver, you may not have enough to get the arrest per what the statute says, but some officers be, and I'm kind of the mindset, if that person was drunk that night, and he may have messed up the correct procedure, at least I get him off the street that night, and he didn't kill somebody. Or if you get dope, a large sum of money, but you don't do the paperwork right, okay, yeah, you may have to give you the money back, but we got that dope off the street. So I'm thinking their mindset is that, yeah, we believe that he did ABC 1, 2, 3. You don't have the necessary proof because the statute of limitations ran out because of whatever case, but we got him for this right here. So it sounds preposterous, but actually, if you're going for justice, that is some form of justice to a potential victim. I'm not saying I agree with it. I'm not saying that because I don't know all the cases R.Kelly. I'm just saying, and sometimes the way the media portray things, they make you choose sides.
Right.
They always do seem like the person of this color gets off. person this color gets hammered, or vice versa, or whatever particular side of the race card you seem to be on. But
it should all just be hammered.
I agree.
Right.
But sometimes we know this person. I'm speaking perfectly for me. I was in law enforcement for 15 years. I tried to go in a certain department based on my skill set, my experience. Couldn't do it. But my dad knew a person that worked there. And when that person found out that I was his son, I instantly got the interview. I instantly walked in the door, instantly got the job. And I say all I had to say this. I had 15 years of law enforcement experience, never kept my nose clean, never got kind of trouble, was particularly skilled, but that wasn't enough. It was who I knew. Getting not what I knew got me in the door, but who I knew. So
tell my
that
daughter
same
all the
thing,
time.
that same thing applies to crimes. Sometimes it's not what you know or what you did, but who you know and who has the power to do this and that. Not saying it's right. Not saying it's right. Not saying it's fair. But excuse me. A prime example is Nzo doesn't like the fact that players can make these super teams. But he just said before then on the previous, if the Spurs was doing it, he wouldn't mind. Okay, that's the same thing. It ain't fair that you
That's
lock him
called
up.
fucked up.
Yeah, you ain't. It ain't fair that this man got away. But if you did the same thing and you know somebody and make a phone call and you kind of get your wrist slapped, is that fair? Is that right? So, and again, I'm not condoning nothing R.Kelly did. I don't know nobody understand that I do, but I'm just saying that man, it's kind of reaching. But when you're a victim, you want some kind of justice. You don't care whether the justice is fucked up or not. If that was your daughters or whatever, and you want justice,
get them for something.
You don't care. You do not care.
I agree with you. Because Yello asked the question, he was like, if it was your daughter, would you listen to R.Kelly?
And I answered him.
Yeah, that's why
I said that's fucked up, because you know, you could get information that could just change the outlook, how you view somebody forever.
Yep. And I agree with you 100%. If it was my daughter, then yeah, you're probably right. I probably wouldn't listen to his music anymore.
But
I'd actually want to kill him.
Was a figure in your life when you needed him.
Exactly. Yello does this in the house. What up, Yello?
It's been a minute, Yello.
What's up, bro?
Yo.
What's up? What you got to say on the matter, brother?
You niggas sound crazy to me for the most part. This nigga has got to go. Now, there's definitely a disparity between how we cover these things and how we cover these things if somebody's white, right? That's the thing that happens in the victims too, is the disparity between how we cover these things when the victims are black and when the victims are white, right? So I wholly and completely agree with you there. But I think the conversation gets messy when you then, instead of focusing on let's get rid of this guy and let's get rid of the other guys too, we're like, hey, but look, why are they doing it this way? Because now we're distracting from the problem, right? The guy's got to go. The guy's got to go. We know he did that shit. We all know he did that shit, right? Like at this point, it's not even because he got off the first time because they had to prove that he knew something he couldn't have known. He fucking knew. He knew. He's been there's a legacy of this type of behavior from this motherfucker. He's got to go. For me personally, I don't think we need R. Kelly's music anymore. We got Trey Songz. You feel what I'm saying? He ain't perfect R. Kelly impression. I feel like.
Shit.
What was best for?
That was a good one. That was a good one.
You feel what I'm saying? Like we don't need him anymore. It's okay for him to fade away and go away. I love Temperatures Rising, son. I love that shit. Like I love that song. I love you, but we got a good substitute now. Sex Room, Jupiter's, whatever that shit's called. Like Trey's giving us the music. We can just substitute. It's good. We got it. You feel what I'm saying? We can let him go. We can let him go.
And go ahead.
I appreciate Danny coming on with the racketeering law knowledge because it is just a matter of like how do we get him for everything?
And I completely understand that 100%.
He's got to go.
don't think I don't, right? And like I said,
but then you get caught up in like this,
I've never condoned anything that he did. I'm just saying at the end of the day, if he's getting convicted, I think we got to get them all, right? If you're going to do the racketing charge,
no, but it's not.
But
it's not. It's not. If he's getting convicted, then we got to get him all.
Is.
No, we just got to get them all. We just got to get them all.
That's what I mean. Yeah, 100%.
Right.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like we got to get everybody. The enablers, right? Because for years he's been going through this, and they've been paying off people, right? They knew what the industry knew what he was doing. Shit, there were people that were bringing him the girls. You know what I mean? Like all of them need to take responsibility.
Didn't we have this? I think discussion on Version of Storms Live, and I'm not making an excuse. I'm just saying the reason for that because he was the golden goose producing those golden eggs. So as long as those golden eggs is coming out of his ass, we're gonna go ahead and let him do his little perverted stuff over here and be like, out of sight, out of mind. Hear no evil, see no evil, speak no evil. That's what it was.
Right.
But then I guess his ass start laying golden eggs. So now that's why he's up on the chopping block. But I agree. Yeah. The hands of one, the hands of all. All those who had intimate knowledge of this needs to get some kind of punishment as well.
I agree 100%. You know what I mean? And that's the only point that I am making. Like, I'm not sitting here and saying fucking R. Kelly is innocent. I'm not saying that, right? But what I am saying,
you're casting doubts on you, like, oh, but doesn't it seem like some of the shit they're saying is crazy? It's like, cool, some shit they're saying might be crazy, but the shit that we know is fact is crazy enough for him to go away for the rest of his life.
100%.
Like, I don't know who saw the video or not. I don't know. You feel what I'm saying? I don't remember seeing it personally. So I don't know who saw it or not, but like, the video.
Yeah, I seen the video.
I don't know who saw it. I don't know who saw it.
I saw it on Chappelle's show.
I don't know who saw. Right, I saw it on the Boondocks. Right, like I don't know who saw it. You feel what I'm saying? But for anybody who may have seen it, that was that nigga.
Oh yeah, 100%. It's 100%. 100%. There's no denying that it was him. Right now, are we getting him? Because people, like I said earlier, they're talking about the peeing, but that's a fetish thing, right? Now, the fact that he did it with an underage girl, that's the problem, right?
Yeah,
but
no one cares about. No one cares if you piss on. No one cares if you piss on an adult. No one cares.
Right.
Like the adult, because that's not the conversation we had. Like that's not even relevant to the point. The problem is that son has a propensity to take advantage of young people, right? Use his position of power to take advantage of children. That's the issue. And anything that happens, happened in the pursuit of that goal, you know what I'm saying? He gotta go. He gotta go.
I hear what you're saying on that, but I don't think that R. Kelly woke up and said, damn, I can sing. And by singing, I'm gonna create this whole organization for the sole purpose, not getting money,
getting women, right?
Going after sex, young girl. I don't think that's the case.
No, I think what happened was,
I'm saying. It's not right.
The over time, he developed this thing. It's not like he was like, I'm a sing now, I'm a genius, I'm gonna do all this stuff. It was like, oh, I could do it if I do it this way. Oh, then I do it this way. Oh, and then he kind of stumbled into it, and then other people helped him to create this. But make no mistake, a lot of what he was doing was in the pursuit of underage pussy. That's what he was like. That's why he's always talking about sex. That's why, because remember, as soon as they started going to trial, now it's all of a sudden it's uplifting music. It's believing. It's he saved me. It's happy people. Now I'm singing to grown folks. All of a sudden we're not talking about sex. We talking about two-stepping. Like it's all about like let me look as good as I can so that we can get all this. Like he
still had his sex things, man.
It's funny business, not like.
If you go look at Black Panties album, every song on that is
that was after though. Yeah, that was later.
Yeah,
that was later.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But he still did his sexual thing. I know at the time.
But Chocolate Factory, like
crazy stuff.
Yeah, but Chocolate Factory is all fucking two steps. It's all the whole thing. It's all two steps. It's all happy. Yeah.
Yeah, but
not even lyrics. Not even lyrics.
But Chocolate
happy
Factory,
people.
Chocolate Factory came out during the time he was going to
trial. That's my point.
Yeah, so that means he was.
So then it was to clean up the image.
No, but what I'm saying, he was creating that album before. Well, yeah, I guess you could put it that way.
It was to clean up the image, man. But none of that matters. None of that matters for me personally. I can't fuck with the music no more because we got Trey Songz now, so we have a good substitute. You feel what I'm saying?
Not even close, though.
And any kind of bread, he owns all of that shit. So any kind of bread that goes to support him, any kind of shine that goes to support him, also goes to fund his predilections. So we got to go. That's it. You gotta go.
No, he don't get no funds anymore, bro. He's completely
No, not anymore. But for 30 some odd years, motherfuckers was.
So do you have R. Kelly albums in your collection now?
Not anymore, no. But yeah, for a long time, I was like, man,
saying,
I'm saying this music good though.
Once you found out, you threw it away.
Yeah. Well, not when I found out, but like in the last, as I matured, right? It was like I remember it was like 2012, and I was sitting around like, I that was him, bro. I'm good. I can't keep doing this. You feel what I'm saying? Like I really was like, I can't keep listening to this and thinking about all the victims that he victimized, right? Everybody who helped him do it too. They should all go to jail, whatever. But I can't keep listening to this shit knowing and supporting and perpetuating this shit, knowing exactly how he was getting down for so long, right? For so long.
Well,
who was the main victims? Who was the main victim?
That's what I was just about to say. One of the reasons why they say he was able to get away with that for so long is because it was Black women that it was happening to. Like that's something that a lot of people are putting out there.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
He's like, Yellow, we got T-Pain.
Tallahassee get busy. I don't know if y'all listened to a T-Pain song recently. Tallahassee get busy.
Listen.
Know how to put some music together.
In one of R. Kelly's songs, right? I think it's Shut Up. He says in the 90s that more babies were created off of his music. And he is 100% correct on that. Because he was fucking popped at the time, right? I know I did my things to one of R. Kelly's albums. This shit, you know what I mean? Like you pop on some R. Kelly and you get that mind's telling me no. Yo, they're just saying panties were dropping, bro.
My body
will tell you yes.
My body, yes. You see, and I'm not gonna sit there like I said.
Now think about the 14-year-old that he had trapped in a closet in the studio while he was writing that. But think about it though. But think about the 14-year-old that he had trapped in a closet in the studio while he was recording that song.
I'm not gonna do that because one.
All right, cool. There's kind of dissonance. You're choosing to ignore the facts at this point.
No, I'm not. But his music, I'm separating the music from the man.
Nah, I'm not. That's not a fact. But there are facts that he had people locked up in closets in studios while he was making music. That we know is a fact. So
why can't they charge him for
how
that?
do we know that's a fact?
Racketeering?
Yeah, the racketeering under the racket, because you're saying y'all niggas are saying racketeering, but it's racketeering like in the pursuit of sex trafficking, right? Sexual sexual
exploitation. I didn't know it had
what was it? Sexual exploitation of a minor, of a child, like all of this type of stuff. Like there's 14 counts under the racketeering thing, and they got him for 12 of them. You know what I'm saying? So it's like it's a whole lot more than just like racketeering. We're not talking about like, oh, we got him for making books. He didn't make books. Like that's not what they got him for. They got him for the proof for they got him for sex trafficking, right? That's what they got him for, of underage women. That's
they
what they
have to classify it as racketeering because it's sex trafficking, or they can't just get him for sex trafficking. That's what I don't understand.
No,
it has to fall under racketeering.
Racketeering is the main thing, but the sex
they just throw that out there. It could be one of those many, right? They don't have to justify which one it is. Is that how it works, Danny?
Yeah, it's kind of like the 4 tires on a car. It's a car, but you got to have the 4 tires. Racketeering.
Yeah, but I know I got the left flat one. The right driver's side is flat.
Yeah, racketeering is the car. Sexual exploitation of a minor is one of the tires. That's all it is.
But my question is, when they give him the racketeering, is it up to us to decide he might be guilty of all of them, one of the 4, 2 of the 4?
Well, the jury decided that he was guilty of 12 of the 14 that fall under the racketeering. That's what the jury decided.
There's 14 that fall under racketeering. Damn.
There's the 14 that they were charging him with.
In conjunction with physical evidence, circumstantial evidence also can be used to determine a person's guilt or innocence. So I guess they had enough of circumstantial evidence. Like if they tell you ABC And a reasonable person will know that A plus B equals C, but don't have that physical A or B there. But if I put this there and this is I'm going to get to C, then you can say guilty or innocence based on that, what a reasonable person would assume.
So you're saying
in certain situations.
Right.
So you're saying that for a reasonable person, there's no way to get to C without A and B. That's what you're saying.
Correct. Yes.
Okay. Right.
And
so we can't do the drugs without purchasing the drugs first.
That is correct.
Right. And I'll say this: did he come back? Did a woman come back with him underage? Well, like I said earlier, what I said is I believe what happened was he was with an underage girl, like 16, and then took her to a state where 16 is the legal age of consent. So if you're doing that, then that's trafficking a minor.
Like good old South Kakalaki.
Right.
So and that's what prohibits, and that's what the Mann Act protects against. The Mann Act protects against taking somebody from somewhere, going somewhere else, and then they pop up
different race though.
What's that, Danny?
A different race. That woman said they did it because that black boxer was dating that white lady.
Yes, so that's why it was created. Yes. Yes, that is why it was created. Yes.
Which is bull crap.
I don't know what y'all talking about.
In the video,
why the Mann Act came to be because of that Jack Johnson dating that white woman.
Yeah.
Right. The boxer.
So the Mann Act got racist origins, is what you're saying.
Yes.
Yeah. That makes sense. I mean, all the fucking laws got racist origins, right?
More or less.
Something they need to revisit because that shouldn't even be on the books now.
Of course. But fix that, right? But also, you know what I mean? Like, she's 16 is legal in Georgia, 16 illegal in Connecticut. You feel what I'm saying? It's just funny business.
16, and then if you like 14 and the either girl or boy or 17 is still in high school,
right?
The Romeo and Juliet law. I mean, that's crazy, right? That's what it is.
I mean, that's that. So, I think, see, that's a different conversation because that's a little more nuanced, right? Like, because it's like 17, 14. I'm like, yeah, I mean, come on, guys, there's a lot of development happening between 14 and 17. Y'all probably shouldn't be engaging in this relationship, but there's no real crime there, I don't think. You feel in most cases. There's some 17-year-olds who are going to be into 14-year-olds that are going to be into 14-year-olds when they turn 18, 19, 20, 24, 36, and they just stay attracted to 14-year-olds, right? So that's a problem. But at 17, I don't know. It
you got to do that because
on how that relationship works.
I have a big problem with someone that's on a sexual predators list and someone who's on a sexual offenders list. I think offenders should have a time limit or a shelf life. A predator should be lifetime. Because in South Carolina, as long as you're on that list, you're on there for your entire life. Right? You can go to
and it's like
North Carolina.
You could be somebody who got drunk and pissed at a park.
Yeah,
you're a sexual offender. It's like I'm drunk and pissed at a park.
Offender is more or less your first offense, one offense. Predator is like 2-3 times.
It's the different level. No, it's the different levels of crimes. It's the different crimes that you
kids, man. And just like what Yello said, it could be I piss in public or something crazy like that.
So one piss in public can get you on that list for life?
It depends if you live in a certain state.
Do you say piss like piss outside?
Yeah,
like Like I'm drunk. I took my penis out to urinate in a tree in a park. Cops roll up. Boom, I'm locked up. My penis is out while they locking me up. So now I'm a sexual offender, and now I'm on this list for the rest of my life. Facts. That's a facts. That's facts. That's just facts.
Yo, that happened to my boy. You got a $280 ticket, man.
Right.
You get up in Canada.
Right. You know what I mean?
But then, all right. So is the tree that you're pissing on behind like a school? Now it's a whole different conversation. You feel what I'm saying?
Right.
It's like drugs.
Even if it's at night.
It don't matter about that.
Yeah.
Like
there's a law like if you get charged with drugs, but if it's in a half mile of a school, it's more severe. A school or a church.
Right. A half mile.
Well, you guys get a fucking rule book when you're kids, man. No. What the fuck?
It come with the melanin. It come with the melanin.
You have to go. We don't think about I'm going to jail.
But the United States law, they got the misdemeanors and the felonies, but for every law, there usually is something that slaps you on the wrist, something a little bit more stern, or something that hammers you. Now, felonies, sometimes you get on felonies, you got a damn, hey, if you do it, there's 1 or 2 laws that might give you a little bit of leeway, but most of the time, you get hammered. On misdemeanors, man, you can be very creative with that shit.
So like Roberto said, like let's say you okay, obviously you're going to school, you take out your penis, whatever. But let's say you do it at midnight where there's no kids around and you just
Don't
gotta
matter.
piss
They just
and
said
you go
what
ahead. Yeah,
in-
right. Don't
No,
matter.
I'm
It's
saying
fucking insane.
I'm saying that
Uh-huh.
there's a possibility that you
Possibility,
could
right? Yeah.
be charged with that, depending on the officer and
Right.
depending on the
Right.
judge. If it's an officer or a judge that got some common sense, of course, I'm not going to go for the full hammer and get this guy sex offender for taking a leak, especially if he give me some kind of viable reason why he did it. But you do that at 12 noon out there in the front of a bunch of
No,
kids,
you got issues.
and then guess what?
Especially with R.Kelly doing
Yeah,
this shit.
you might be getting a full hammer.
Gotcha.
Because some judges are like making examples of people and some don't. Some cops do the same thing.
That
some
makes
don't.
sense.
So
It's facts. But so I just
hope
want to
you don't
go
have
back
go
to
near a school.
right. Praying God, within half a mile.
That's
of
a
a school,
setup right
within
there in the U.S.
2,000 feet of a school. That
That
shit
is
is
fucking
anyway.
crazy. This is a real educational show for us Canadians. Sorry, go ahead, y'all.
I just want to go back to the lady that was talking in the video. I don't like her. She's making a whole bunch of irrelevant points to take the light off of what R. Kelly was engaged in, and that's trash. And we all do that. So like we like people or we see injustices, so then we try to like confuse the issue and like distract and subterfuge, and that's all she was doing. Because like under like specifically with the Mann Act, right? However it came into inception, however they decided that they were gonna create it, right? Racist facts, let's fix it. That has nothing to do with the fact that that R. Kelly and them was involved in taking these women girls who were underage to other places so that it's now it's legal, right? Now it's not illegal. It's completely irrelevant. The only reason to bring that up is to try and cast doubt, is to put a shadow on it, is to distract from the actual issue that's being talked about.
that's the defense attorney's job.
Facts. But we need to that's why we need smart people to be in juries so that they don't fall for that shit. But most people are dumb, so
that's why they select the jury carefully, right?
Yeah. At least they try to.
No,
they try to at least.
The defense attorney has an easier job. All he got to do is have 1% doubt, 1% doubt that what's coming out of his mouth could have happened, and not what the solicitors or what the prosecutor is saying. The prosecutor gotta give you evidence that beyond a shadow of a doubt, this is what happened. Roberto went over there and he took that candy bar out of Walmart.
Right.
All Yello got to do is say no. Did you see the camera? Is there any kind of camera footage? No. Do we have a witness of him taking the camera? No. Do we ever see the can in his pocket? No. So could it be possible that somebody that dressed like Roberto come in there, somebody his same height, same complexion, blah blah, could have come in there and did that? Is that remotely possible? And if you say yes, you're gonna find the person not guilty. If you say no, so the defense attorney, all you gotta do is give you one little shred that it didn't happen, and you gotta say not guilty if you're being fair about the situation.
Yeah, and I guess that's a good thing, really. In principle, it's a good thing because too many cats get jammed up on trumped up charges of shit that look good and all that, but ain't real, right? How many people we know executed on death row that ended up being innocent? It's not a whole lot, but it's enough to be like, maybe we shouldn't be killing these motherfuckers.
There's something else too, Yello, that all four of us on here look alike, and we have seen. Well, we are the same race.
Right? Once they get close to me, they're like, "Hold on."
Okay, and it's kind of hard being in the side on the side of the color line that we own when we see people on the other side get away with stuff,
facts,
guilty or not. So when our person that look like us get the same vat of shit, and he comes out with, and we know he guilty,
everything's sticking to him.
We kind of like, well, fuck it, because Billy Bob, he did the same thing. He can go free, so
right.
Let Tyrone go free.
And that's why I think it's important that we talk about that specifically, because that's something we can't do just as human beings. Like, I understand why we do it, because but if you're not gonna get this, why? You mean like how it's so much easier to jam the black man up on all kinds of imaginary words and shit that don't mean nothing. But then when we got hard facts and evidence on the white man, and all of a sudden his little slippery ass get through, right? I understand that, but the focus needs to be not if he get away with it, why can't he get away? But it need to be if he guilty, he also
should be
guilty.
Yes,
we
I
need to
agree.
get him too. You feel what I'm
Yes,
saying?
I
And
agree.
that's how we
Right.
need to like. That's how the conversation needs to happen, right?
Can I ask you a question,
I
Danny?
agree. Yes, sir.
When police officers are brought up on charges, does the same thing apply that the black officers lose their jobs more often in these kind of cases than white officers?
And in some cases it is, but
This is
I'm
America,
I like to play devil's advocate on this because
I'm just curious. I'm curious.
and
Like
this is how I'm gonna
statistically,
answer.
you know?
This is how I'm gonna answer. If let's just say your son or your brother, whatever, he does something for the first time, and the lawyer paints his picture, man, he's a pillar of the community, blah 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 blah. He does it for the first time. He gets a slap on the wrist.
right?
We say, okay, man, that's just don't destroy his life. But the police officer does something for the first time. I ain't saying that they should not lose their job. They should lose their job because they have a certain level of trust and respect given to that position.
Mhm.
But I'm not going to say we need to hammer this sucker, throw him under the jail kind of stuff because it depends on what he did. Now, if he killed somebody like in the Floyd George Floyd thing, yes, that officer did exactly what he did. But if I took some money or did some kind of, why should I get slammed and hammered? Because the same compassion you want for your brother or your dad or whatever, I think officers should get that same compassion. Now,
The
if
only
this
reason I
is a
ask-
repeat offender, he doing this shit over and over and over, then he should get the same level of punishment that everybody else get. I'm saying
Because
times the officer that makes a slip or something, they want his head, off with his head, and all this kind of stuff. I just don't agree with that.
You see,
I hear you.
it's understandable for you to be defensive because you are a police officer. I wasn't saying that police officers should be treated differently than the public. I was just saying if a black cop shoots somebody and a white cop shoots somebody and they both go to court, do they both get the same kind of treatment?
Right
Because
now,
I asked because I heard a story, or I remember a storyline of a cop being shot at and he returned fire and accidentally hit somebody in the household where he was being shot at, and that cop lost his job.
I would have to get all the facts on that, but in that scenario that you just said, I would rather be the black cop that shot somebody now than being the white cop, because the white cop shot somebody and he is black, then his ass probably going to be on the 6 o'clock news and not go have
they're
a
shooting
career.
people that don't even have weapons and they're getting off. I'm just saying, now they're being shot at. I would think he'd get off scot-free, no problem.
It depends on the situation. Because I got a video where somebody came at me with a. It was called a good shoot, but sometimes you got to make sure you got to be by policy, you got to be by the book, you got to make sure that you exhaust any other means necessary because there's a certain level, open hand, closed hand, intermediate, and full gun. So you got to make sure you go through that chain. And if you jump from one link to a higher link, you better be able to articulate why you did it, and that camera better back up what you said. If it
That's
don't,
why we respect you, Danny.
You out the way.
You do shit righteous.
I seen that video. I was like, damn, Danny, don't fuck around with Danny, boy.
Okay, so I'll be right back.
I try to go home, bro. I try to go home. I try to make sure my people go home.
Facts.
I try to make sure the perp go home.
And like I said many times, Yellow's like, oh, you're deflecting everything. No. Yes, I do. I'm not condoning anything he did. I believe he did a lot of the things that he said he did. But again, I believe there's also a little bit of exaggeration as well. You know what I mean? Especially when did you watch the Surviving R.Kelly documentary?
No.
I'm gonna be totally honest with you, Nzo. I don't know whether he did or didn't. I wouldn't be surprised if he did host by the room. But I'm just being honest. I ain't gonna stop listening to his music. I'm sorry.
I'm with you on that.
If you somebody that don't want to listen to it, I will respect your wish and not play it. But if I'm in my own car, I'm right here in my own house, and I want to hear something, I'm gonna play it. I'm sorry.
I do,
I'm
man.
just
When I
saying.
go out and listen to my music, I have the playlist, and if a song comes up and if it's one I want to hear, I'll listen to it. Again, just because I do, that's not me condoning
We
anything
had
that he did.
some of the same issues with Michael Jackson. He had some similar
Right.
accusations. And shit.
Did
I
anyone
ain't
stop
stop listening
listening?
to Michael Jackson. I ain't gonna do it.
Neither did I. Did you, Yello?
You stop listening to Michael
No.
Jackson?
There's nothing that made me think that Mike actually did it.
Okay.
I agree with you on that one because I didn't really think he did it too. But there were at one
A lot of
point,
accusations.
yeah, and there was.
Yeah.
It looked like they had a lot of evidence on him, but every time something
It didn't.
came up, it was debunked right away. Everything was debunked,
I
and
think
then Oprah.
he did
go ahead.
pay off though. He
That's
paid
cool.
some people off.
I mean, that's
I
possible.
believe he did.
Right?
Yeah,
That's possible. He certainly had the bread.
Yeah, and he did settle some cases. Like if you go walk in history, they say there were a few cases that he did settle, right? But at the end
But
of the
settlements
day,
are like
I was
settlements
gonna
don't
say
mean you're guilty.
no, exactly. I was gonna say that doesn't mean he did what they're saying he did, right? As a star like this, like Michael Jackson, that is your opportunity to get money. And there's people out there that will just think of that type of opportunity and it's like, oh shit, he's having this. Yeah, let me put my kid over there. Boom, he did something to my kid. You know what I mean? And then they're trying to extort him for money. And because you're a big star like that, you don't want to go through the bad publicity, or you don't even want to do it. Yeah, okay, whatever. I'll just pay you off. Here, what's up? $10 million you want? Yeah. Boom, done. Get it over it. Done. Even though you know you didn't do shit, right?
Right.
And then Oprah came out with that documentary with the two kids like a couple years ago, and that thing just got debunked at every single fucking turn.
Yeah,
and
was getting killed. It was getting killed.
Right. To the point where she had to distance herself from it. And at that point, I was like, okay, now you guys are just trying to fuck with the man because he's dead. That's bullshit. You weren't getting money from him?
I don't know. But it didn't. I don't know what their motivations were, but it certainly didn't look like he was guilty. Now, if that changes, you feel what I'm saying, then I got to reassess, and then that's how I feel about all of this shit. Because at the end of the day, like, these dudes, they don't need my spins and listens and shit. And we should not, like, I understand wanting to separate the art from the artist. I think, especially for myself, there's a line that we cross that I'm like, all right, now I can't, because the art supports the artist. You feel what I'm saying? So now I can't allow for anything that I do to support you. That's like, it's a different thing, right? And I feel that way about mad shit. No, and I understand if motherfuckers don't care. Like, I ain't mad at nobody for you don't care. I don't care. Like, if you don't care, I certainly don't care that you don't care. That shit ain't got nothing to do with me. You feel what I'm saying? But I'm also gonna provide the perspective. Like, we have options. We have substitutes.
Yeah, what I was gonna say is I don't buy any more of his shit, but I was never buying his shit anyways. You know what I mean? I was never buying it anyway. So it's not like I'm gonna be like, oh no, now he's convicted. I gotta buy his shit. No, fuck that. Yeah, LimeWire, whatever, fucking YouTube. Because now his shit is just being popped up on YouTube, right? You could use his music, no copyright claim, whatever. He has no producers, whatever, anything like that. So, but at the end of the day, I'm not gonna be like going out and buying the next R.Kelly album. I won't spend money on it.
And that's some shit that motherfuckers do. As soon as one of their people get in trouble, then they all of a sudden start buying out all their merch and shit. Like, that's some shit that people do. Right? It's like, I support them, so let me go buy all their stuff. I don't care if it look like he guilty or not. And that's some trash shit as well. So I think it's just I don't know. It doesn't, at the end of the day, whether you listen to the music or not doesn't really matter. I think the problem is when motherfuckers promote this shit, right? Because I'm seeing, like, on social media and stuff like that, motherfuckers like, man, I don't care what y'all say he did. This song right here slaps. And now that, I think, breeds a kind of, like, it makes it okay to disregard people's actions. And that's, I'm not cool with that. We can have a nuanced conversation about, like, supporting the art instead of the artist. We can do that. But when motherfuckers get out here and they just want to be like, man, fuck all that bullshit. Like, I'm like, all right, you ignorant son of a bitch.
Oh, no, I feel
fuck
what
you
you
through
want.
that. You feel what I'm saying? Because it's a different thing.
I feel you 100%. And I don't think anybody on this panel ever said, no, I actually haven't. But I don't think anybody on this panel has actually, like, said, oh yeah, fuck what he did, I'm still gonna listen to his music. No, we've all said,
I don't think nobody said that.
piece of shit for what he did. You know what I mean? But his
He
music
gotta go.
hits differently. Yeah, you know what I mean?
His music gotta go too, though. He gotta go. He gotta go. I can't.
Nah,
Like
man.
I'm just like I'm on the stands. He gotta go. We got all kinds of people making fuck music.
Yeah, but Trey Songz is not even close to that level, bro. He got some good tracks, but it ain't even close. And he ain't even
go listen
and
to
he
Trey
ain't
again.
even.
I tell you what,
You gotta go listen to Trey again.
that damn sex room, and you think
I bet the neighbors know my name.
Oh my god!
Neighbors know my name. Yeah, absolutely.
This the last time. Oh, what? The last time? Oh, listen. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Listen.
He got some bangers. I'm not gonna lie. He got some bangers, right? I even think him and R. Kelly actually had a beef at one point, right? Where they were going back. Yeah, they were going back and forth at each other. And I believe Trey Songz, if I'm not mistaken, did a version of "Trapped in the Closet." You know, Trey
What's this
Songz
thing
got some
like?
bangers.
50 something damn videos, episodes, or something.
That shit was a soap opera, bro. That shit was
Yeah,
crazy.
right.
That shit was crazy.
But you see, this is the thing now. So now people are talking about, oh, Trapped in the Closet. He's talking about the girls and blah blah. And I'm not gonna say that. I'm not gonna be sitting there listening to music and be like, you know what I mean? I'm not gonna do that. I'm like, listen, I'm gonna take it for I know I banged to some of that shit. You know what I mean? So I remember me banging to the music, not the fact that, oh, okay, R. Kelly did this with a little 19-year-old, whatever. Nah, man. You know,
19, that's legal.
Well, I mean, 16.
19 wouldn't be the problem.
I think
I support 19.
He has. There were a few that were of age. I just can't remember which ones they were. Yeah, you know what I mean?
The most famous one we knew about was Elihu, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We know she was underage when they got married.
Yeah. And someone turned themselves in, the one that helped to pay for the
music, boy. God.
to pay for the certificate change. That person turned himself in. Right, because they had to doctor her certificate to say that she was of age so that he could marry her. And I believe that. So I don't think we've seen the last of the cases that are going to happen.
They're going to come out the woodwork now, buddy.
Right. They're going to go after everybody. At least that's what they should do. You know what I mean? They should go after everybody because this is a big thing in Hollywood. It's not like we're just R.Kelly.
You think you should get life?
I don't like, what is life really? You know, like what really is a life sentence? Because now we're talking about how hard should we punish him for his actions when our criminal justice system is supposed to be about rehabilitation, right? That's what it's supposed to be about, but it's never been. That's all we want to do is punish people when they do things we don't like, right? So now we get into a different kind of conversation. How old is he? He's like 50 years old, 50 something years old.
Not 52.
Should he get 50 years? Probably, yeah. You know what I'm saying? But what is a life sentence? And then do we want, because the problem that I have with the way how the law works and shit is like, he gets life for this and somebody else can have a similar case and then they can use this to justify why they should get life and maybe they don't deserve life. You know what I mean? So it's like, what does that really mean?
Get life because like
he's 54.
Some people can kill somebody, take another life, and get less time than that. So
yeah, but what are the circumstances around that though? Right? Because like I don't feel like murder should be a life sentence anyway. Because that's like it's like
if it's cold-blooded murder and you have malice and forethought, yes, your ass should fucking get it.
Maybe, but I can certainly see some circumstances where I can cold-blooded. Well, I don't know about cold-blooded, but like I can see a circumstance where I'm so angry with somebody for something that they did that I then orchestrate a plot to murder them. Right?
No.
Like I can see a circumstance where that
that's murder.
No.
Which is murder, right?
You're going at first. You said orchestrating,
right? Because it takes planning, right? Because I can't get to this guy. So I gotta find a way to get to him. Like when is he vulnerable? Hypothetically speaking, I'm just saying I can relate to that. Now, after you spend 20, 25 years, and that's the only person you ever murdered, you spent 20, 25 years in jail. You only murdered this person for this specific reason. You're not really a threat to society. That guy did you, or that girl, whoever that person was, did you wrong. And then you as a human being decided to get them back, right? That's over. That doesn't mean now you're just gonna go on a murder spree. You're not really a danger to society, right? You're not really. So once you work through, I think there's an avenue for working through that process, working through that trauma.
You paint the hell out of that picture, but I'm not buying it.
You're not a threat until somebody else pisses you off.
That's what I was just about to say, right? Until you get that feeling.
The second person crosses you.
So then how far? So let me ask you a question, because like if we're in a fight and I kill you by accident, that's manslaughter, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's manslaughter. So then how long is it to after you do me wrong, does it then become murder, right? Because like let's say one of these ladies murder R. Kelly, right? He's on his way to trial. They roll up, bop, bop. It's over for him. Does she deserve life? That's what I'm talking about. She had to plan that hit. She had to plan that. She knew where he was going to be. That's orchestrated. You feel what I'm saying? That's premeditated.
The difference between you and that scenario is that this individual done that several times. He has a history. This guy just crossed you this one time and it pissed you off, whatever.
No, but I'm saying, right. But all I'm saying is, but I never was specific about what the thing was that made me mad about. All I'm saying is I can see a situation where somebody has done me wrong in a way that I'm angry enough to go there. Right. I can imagine that situation. And it is those kind of like, it could be one of the girls who he did wrong one time
for years, right?
Or just one time and got away. Okay. Like I'm just saying one, like, does she deserve life? It's wrong to murder somebody. It's against the law. She doesn't get to go home, but there's a lot of room between going home and going to jail for life, right? Or the death sentence. Like there's a lot of room between that. And I think we got to kind of rework what we do in response to these situations based on the nuances of it.
Very stiff, because the same way you reason and plot and talk yourself into pulling the trigger or whatever method you use, you could do that same thing to say, no, I don't need to do that. Because reason goes both ways. You can't plead insanity because he pissed me off because he raped my daughter. Yeah, it's fucked up that he raped your daughter and he deserves to die. A very horrible and quick or whatever death or whatever clicks your button, whatever.
Right.
But then the same way you think that and plan it, like however long it takes you to plan it,
right?
That's something called a cooling off period. You had a cooling off period.
You got a lot of time to choose not to do it.
So that's when the malice and forethought comes in. Yeah, I sit down, I premeditated. So if you did all that, then you need to get a stiffer penalty than doing something in the heat of the moment.
Sure. But how stiff though, right? Because he raped my daughter.
Shit. Listen to you saw you be doing something for months and a year or two. You got months and a year or two to sit down and plot and plan it and everything.
My daughter's life is forever changed because of that one instance, right? My daughter's life is forever changed. And I'm hot about it. I'm furious, right? Yeah, I got some time to cool off and all that. And I'm not saying it's a good way to do things. I'm just saying that person, I think we need to handle that case differently than we handle a serial killer, or you know what I mean? Like that's what I'm saying. And generally we do, but what is a life sentence? Does that person deserve to be in jail for the rest of their life?
Using that same scenario you just painted, what would be appropriate sentence in your mind?
I don't know. I really don't have any ideas. That's why I'm asking the question, right? Because like our criminal justice system is so punitive. It's so much about punishment, right? It's so much about you deserve this because you did this, when it's supposed to be about rehabilitation. It's supposed to be about, it's a correctional facility, they told me, right? So it's supposed to be about correcting behaviors and all of that kind of stuff, right? Making you a productive member of society and putting you back into society.
The man kills your daughter. He goes to jail. He gets rehabilitated, and he comes back and says, "Look, I'm sorry." And you can see a significant change in his life. You're just going to overlook that because you're so blinded by your fury of your dead daughter, or are you going to believe in the system you just said?
I don't know. That's not what I'm saying. Is like the system can't operate itself based on what any human might do. That's the point that I'm making, because we're all nuts. We're all broken. There's one thing can set us off, and we will change forever. Right, because we can't be trusted. We can't even trust our own minds sometimes. You've been asleep, you've been kind of hazy, and you think you see something, but it's not really there. We can't trust our own minds about what's happening in the world. So the system cannot be like based on how humans feel or how humans like operate on a regular basis. So I don't know. We got to get a bunch of people together and come up with a plan that actually works through trial and error. Right? That's I don't know. But I can also see where somebody would be like,
I want to be part of that process.
So let me ask you this, Yello. What do you think deserves life then? Like, what crime do you think would deserve a life sentence?
I really don't know. But I think of repetition. You feel what I'm saying? Like no drug charges. There's no reason why somebody should be their third felony drug charge and be in jail for the rest of their life. I don't understand.
What if you could prove that those drugs he or she sold kill hundreds of people?
There's it's still drugs, and it's like, and the reason why most of the reason why drugs kill people is because they don't know what they're doing, right? It's not being regulated or monitored or controlled and being administered in a safe way. That's most of the reason why drugs kill people, right? So if we were to do that, then
crack?
I don't know. I don't use crack cocaine, but like I know there's a lot of people who use crack their whole life and never died from it. They're still outside. We see them. So clearly there's a safe way to do it. Clearly there's a safe way to do it.
What if he's selling
you feel me?
Bad drugs? Right.
So that's a different thing. Right now, is your intention to kill a bunch of people? Is your intention to be so reckless with it that it doesn't matter if they die? You feel what I'm saying? All of that kind of stuff.
Doesn't matter.
Then that we're having a different conversation. But it is those nuances that we have to get into in order to determine, like, you know what I'm saying, what deserves a life sentence. Like the to take someone out of society for life means that they can never go back into it. So why don't we trust them to go back? Right? Why don't we trust him to go back into society? Those are the kind of questions that you have to answer in order to determine if he should be out of it forever.
That's one of the reasons why they came up with the 3 strikes here.
Yeah. Also racism.
I agree. Some of that is too. Systemic
racism. Yeah.
Right.
Lonzo's favorite word.
You know.
Yeah. It's
got daddy twisted for a minute.
But I can say systematic, but systemic got kind of gives me a little bit.
It feels too short. It feels like it's not long enough to really fully encompass the severity of what we're talking about. You feel what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, man. Like I said, man. I don't know, man. At the end of the day, yes, he's gonna.
R.Kelly should probably go to jail for life, though. He should probably go to jail for life.
Hold on, and this is not going to be his only trial. He has like 3 more trials that he has to go through in different states.
You gotta be careful, man, because that could be double jeopardy.
Well, they're different charges because of what happened in their states, right?
Yeah, they're different charges. Yeah. So
if you charge with the same thing in one state, usually what they do is they lump all that together and do it either consecutively or what's the other word, concurrently.
Right.
You just can't. Okay, I'm charged with rape over here. They ain't gonna send you to jail for 30 years. When you come out 30 years, take you back there to get another.
They'll do it all at once.
Well, those cases should be coming. Yeah, those cases should be coming up soon, right? So once he gets those cases, if he's found guilty, then I believe they'll add all. Like for this one, he'll get sentenced May,
if
30
he
years.
Currently, he is fucked. I don't know. I mean, if you get consecutive charges, he's fucked. If you get concurrent, then he might see outside of prison again. But if they give it to him consecutively, he is fucked. I mean, you get 30 years for here, then maybe 15 for that one, and then 10 for the other one. Shit, he ain't gonna live that long.
Yeah, I'm at the point where he probably is. He's never gonna see the light of day again. I believe that.
He better be able to sing.
Oh, he's gonna be singing, Danny.
like that every time, because if he loses his voice,
no, Danny, he's gonna be singing. He's gonna be singing when they bend him over. He's gonna be singing, bro. Trust me. You know you're gonna find out what was in R.Kelly's closet then. That's for sure. He's gonna have pure men feeling on his booty. That's for damn sure. But
ignition and hot and fresh. I'm rolling that body again. I'm sorry.
Oh man.
It's all good, brother, man. I feel it.
Shit. But they are absolutely like, this is the guy. Look at him, look at the black man. He's the monster. When it's like a whole organization of motherfuckers that allowed for this shit to happen.
Right.
Whole bunch of motherfuckers that allowed for this shit to happen. So, and they're definitely, and it is easier to get.
I believe in karma. They're gonna pay for that. I believe in karma.
Karma's not real. There's too many terrible people that's been successful for too long for karma to be real. Explain to me how, like, never mind. I'm not gonna challenge karma. I don't feel like getting into it, but that shit is not real.
Well, I can't speak for you because I only know you through this, but I've seen people in my profession. I mean, that did some fucked up shit, and they get on top for about a minute. You think they're shining, and next thing you know, boom, that shit hit them. I'd be like, fuck, I told your ass.
Yeah, but that's coincidence though. Shit happens, man. Shit just happens.
Okay.
Yeah, I hear what you're saying, but I believe in karma because I've had my own
I know.
shit.
It make you feel good.
I mean?
It's a nice, comfortable fairy tale to tuck yourself in at night. I know.
No one thing. Power.
I try to do
happens
stuff
a lot
right
without us knowing.
Me too,
I don't
Danny.
want no bad karma. If I can help you out in my profession, I try to help you out because I got 3 kids and I don't want no asshole cop fucking with my kids. So I try to treat everybody kids like I want my 3 kids.
Work, yeah,
absolutely.
Because that ain't no good feeling. Get that call 3 a.m. Because something happened to my son, then I might act a donkey.
Oh, trust me. I remember one night I woke up, right, and I was watching this video on Facebook, and it was like a Roberto would know it. Lionel Grew Metro station, right? Mm-hmm. And I was watching this video, I'm like, that looks like my kid, right? So I'm watching the video, and then I hear Raheem. I hear the name. So I'm like, what the fuck? I'm like, yo, and I'm calling my son that night, and he's not answering the phone. So I'm like, what the fuck? And then I hear a girl in the background, and I couldn't see the face, but it sounded like his girl. Now, at this point, because I see the kid's like light skin, kind of looks like my son, I'm wondering if it's like, you know, my mind is trying to put all these things together and say, that's it, right? So anyways, he texted me in the morning. He's like, what's up? And I was like, yo, you good? I'm like, yeah. I was like, I seen this video, man. I'm sorry, bro. It looked exactly like you. I had to text you, make sure you're okay. And then I said, the person said Raheem. And then he said, no, Kadeem. And I said, Kadeem? He's like, yeah, he's one of my boys. So it was actually one of his friends. But like, I flipped out. I was like, yo, trust me, bro. Didn't sleep that night at all. So I understand if something like happens, it's hard, you know?
Right.
So I probably would act a donkey too.
You got kids, Yello?
5 kids and 3 baby mothers.
Okay. So you in the same boat with us, bro.
I actually thought he was joking.
I was. That's fucked up.
Oh, okay.
I don't know.
He said it so seriously that I was like,
who knows? Who knows if it's true or not?
Possible.
You know what
I was like, okay, you want to throw your business something like that? Okay.
I'm a whore. I am a nasty whore. It's my pastime. Getting bitches pregnant is my pastime.
Really?
Who knows, man? Who knows?
No, but you don't have any kids though, eh? I guess not.
Who knows, man? Who knows? Who knows, man?
There was another video that I had real quick before he closed up, and I don't seem to find it here.
I thought I sent you a video, didn't I? I sent you in Mendy's little video.
You did?
Of those cops, the fucked up cop.
How many times?
They arrested him.
Oh yeah, yeah.
That and I said that looks like it was staged.
Yeah, I think that was a reenactment or something. But
yeah, it was.
That's what needs to be done. If
because of the cops uniforms.
Fucking dope on somebody, you ass need to go to jail. Oh, I can't.
But
stand
then, what's the chances of that happening? That's
why I don't like Denzel Washington Training Day. I can't stand that movie.
I know
that shit. I get pissed off.
I know. I'm careful to recommend a movie with cops with Danny because it's like, Danny, you should watch this movie about cops. It's like, are they acting a donkey? I'm like, yeah, kind of. It's like, nah, I don't want to see
dirty
that
cop,
shit.
man. I can't stand that shit. You didn't make believe. I don't know no dirty cops, Yello. I mean, I'm telling you, I don't. Because I'm not saying they don't exist, but I'm saying if they do, the motherfuckers is toast. Because I don't believe in that shit.
Yeah, I mean, thank you.
So Danny, if you had a partner that was one, what would you do?
Yeah, he done.
You heard what he said? He said he toast, man. You heard what he said?
I'm telling you, I ain't going to jail.
While he planting the crack. Pop.
I love my wife. I love my son. I love my children. I'm not going to jail for nobody on this planet, buddy.
I feel you, brother.
Will the police union turn on you, Danny?
You ain't got no damn union here. That's up north.
That is a fucking union. I don't give a fuck.
No fucking union. I'm not going to jail. I don't give it no union. I'm not going to jail. Okay, I don't give a shit.
That's crazy. Because in the South, they dead ass like Blue Lives Matter, but then there's no police union. That's wild. That's very interesting. It's like what? So they're super anti-union. They're like, no, unions are bad. But like, you know what I'm saying?
Something else even better, Yello. I work for a sheriff's office. In South Carolina, the sheriff can come in any given day of time and say, I don't like your ass. You fired.
Right.
And
yeah, sheriffs are different. Yeah, sheriffs are basically cowboys.
Nothing
you can do.
power. Nothing.
Are sheriffs elected?
Sheriff is elected.
Nah, man. Somebody
The
rolls
rules-
into town after the last one was
rules and
shot.
stuff
Picks up the
Don't
badge.
really
puts it on.
apply to him.
Back in the day, huh?
Hey, the sheriff, man, I'm telling you, man.
Oh, so you the new sheriff in town? That's right, I am, man. That's how sheriffs work.
That's how Canadians see Americans just like you see us in igloos, right?
Nah,
Some
y'all
guy
ride
walks
moose.
in town, he's a
Y'all
sheriff,
ride
and
moose
he's
and wear them
spitting
big
some
ass,
shit
ugly ass hats.
in a
That's what
big
y'all wear. Them
fucking
big ass.
tin
like-
can.
When I think of Canadian cops, I think of like county mounties, man.
Right,
I know
they ride
you
moose.
do.
Like with the red coat,
Yeah, the big hat.
big ass.
Yeah, I know you do.
What do you call that shit?
You know what?
I don't know
campaign
what it's
hat.
called.
Campaign hat.
Swag.
Just like
Riding the
every time
moose.
we think of a Southern cop, he spits after he says, "Boy."
There's a platoon. There's always a spittoon right there.
There's always that tin can around that he can spit on, you know?
Hey, I'm gonna tell you this. If you go to Texas, that's how Texas State Troopers stop me, man. Them suckers got the big ass cowboy hats, the damn regular shirt,
Hell
blue
yeah.
jeans, boots,
dungarees.
shit. And them motherfuckers, they'll give you a ticket in a heartbeat. Do not mess with Texas.
They're
law
making fun of
enforcement,
our
buddy.
money, right, Anzo?
Yeah, they are.
Go
So I gotta.
look at the cops. Go look at the cops at the border in Vermont. They look just like our Mounties.
Yeah, Vermont is weird. Vermont is weird.
Fucking boots, pants in their boots. They
They
look
clo-
the
they're too
same
close to
way.
y'all. They're too close to y'all. That's
That's how y'all. That's y'all cops look.
It's
Right there.
infectious.
Yes, Danny.
You going a baseball cap?
Baseball
Wow.
cap. He's got on camo. He's got on his camel boots.
Yeah, he put on fatigue pants.
Are you Officer Leroux?
Yes.
Hi, my name is Amanda
Oh,
Delaware,
wait,
I'm
she's
a
speaking
journalist.
French?
Oui,
I
je
don't
parle
take no
français.
French cop
On a vu
serious.
une vidéo hier avec vous.
Did you see that?
You speak English because we heard you speaking
The
English
cop
in the
told him to
video.
speak. You
The
speak
man,
French?
a man in a wheelchair. Someone sent us a video of you swearing at the man and screaming at a man in a wheelchair for crossing the street at McGill.
Écoutez, j'ai pas vu cette vidéo-là, mais s'il y a quoi que ce soit, vous pouvez toujours
That you were
parler.
screaming, swearing at a man in a wheelchair for crossing the street so slowly.
Non, je penserais pas.
That didn't happen.
Moi, j'ai pas vu ça, mais s'il y a quoi que ce soit, vous pouvez
Can I
toujours
show you the
parler.
video and you can see if
Madame,
it's you on the video?
c'est sûr que je commenterai pas ça aujourd'hui. S'il y a quoi que ce soit, vous pouvez toujours parler à la direction ou aux ressources
Were you
aux
working
médias.
yesterday?
Oui, 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 je
Talk to the
travaillais.
organization who's paid to
Were you
talk to
pushing
y'all.
a man in a wheelchair around?
Non.
Did you
J'ai
swear
fait
at
des
a man in a
interventions
wheelchair?
hier, mais poussé, non.
Did you have an intervention with a man in a wheelchair?
Mais comme je
When
vous
was
dis,
this?
si vous voulez quoi que
I
ce
like
soit,
this.
vous
It's
pouvez
been a
toujours
long
parler à la
time
relation
ago.
médias, madame.
Okay, but you're not denying that you had an
This
intervention with
happened
a man in a wheelchair?
16.
Mais non,
4
j'ai
years
fait des
ago, I think.
interventions hier. Là.
Yeah,
Des
2016.
Des interventions
First,
policières, comme je vous
Yes,
dis,
it's
madame.
2000.
C'est sûr
Well,
et
that's
certain,
when the
moi, j'ai pas
video
vu
was
de vidéo.
posted. It could
Mais
have
s'il
been
y
a
a quoi que
little
ce
bit
soit, vous
earlier.
pouvez toujours parler avec les relations médias. Ça va faire plaisir.
I remember
I
this.
called, but you were swearing at a man with a wheelchair. We
These
have a
guys are
video
nuts,
where you
huh?
said, "I'm
These
gonna
traffic
give you a
cops.
ticket."
You try and cross that street when it ain't your turn. Holy fuck! You might as well have just shot somebody.
For
He's
real.
gonna embarrass you, man.
I just wanted to show
But traffic
Danny
cops don't get in action very often, eh, Danny?
I know. All right.
Is there a division like you actually enroll to be a traffic cop, or you fail the firing, the target practice, and they put you a fucking traffic cop? Is that how it works?
That's an upgrade, bro.
What?
Traffic cop is an upgrade?
Yeah, starting position is patrol. That's like the ones that come to your house and it's all kind of calls. Then you get promoted to traffic, and all you do is just like work wrecks, parades, write speeding tickets and stuff. There's several different divisions in a lot of the departments.
Yeah, what movie was it that the detective came to his locker or whatever, and it was the white gloves in it, and he was like, "Oh man, I gotta do traffic." Rah, rah. He was real mad about it, and then they cut to him in traffic, stressed out. I can't remember. I want to say it was one of the Lethal Weapons, but I don't think it was. Man, I just remember that shit.
I think in a big city, traffic might be a headache, but shit.
You goddamn right.
Yeah, where I'm from, man, shit. I love traffic
roads.
Really, Danny? They said go do some
He
traffic
just stood
today.
at the. He just stood at
They
the.
got that one traffic light in the middle of town.
One
It's a
car
four-way
every
stop
hour.
sign.
You got where I work at is
shit.
35 miles of Interstate 95, and it's all kind of money and drugs out there, bro.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm gonna show you this. I might be sure you. I'm gonna show you how much money we get off of one of these cases.
Oh yeah, I
Yeah, bro,
remember.
that shit
You showed me that picture. I was like,
who's in charge of the accounting of all the criminal money? Who's in charge of the accounting? I bet you
Not-
find a
not me.
suspicious cop. His daughter got new braces. I bet you.
Negative.
I already asked Danny. I said, Danny, you weren't tempted to like pocket?
Yep.
Look at that.
Yeah. Yeah, that
Roberto,
ain't full.
those bundles you
They
got,
even
Danny?
they even shook it around to make it look like it was full. Like, you know how you move the food around to make it look like you ate? That's what they
How much money was there, Danny?
About 850,000.
Yeah, exactly. 850,000. Where that 150 go?
Of the 930,000.
Y'all talking to the wrong bro.
I ain't saying you had nothing to do with it. I'm just asking where the other 150 went.
Were you alone?
What they said in American Gangster? Oh, not $970,000. Where's the rest of it?
First of all, if you're gonna do that kind of, let's just say for instance, hypothetically, you know the mob guys, because usually they travel in teams and stuff. They gonna know how much got checked in, and if it ain't got fucking checked in, like 2 million ain't got checked in, but like 15, not 2 million, but 1.5 million got checked in. Shit, you think your ass safe? Fuck no.
Yeah, but none of them get their money back though, right?
Well,
it depends on it. See, what people don't understand is we have to play by the rules. That guys don't. If we mess up one step in that, we can get you dead to the rights. But if we mess up one step, don't read you your rights, don't do this, don't do this, don't do that. That dismisses the whole case. So a lot of times, if to an officer, and that's what I stress now because I'm over patrol division where I work at. Make sure you do the little things. You do the little things, they're gonna take care of the big things. So it ain't as and a lot of times those kind of cases take years.
I tell you,
it makes sense.
I don't know, man. These corrupt cops have a lot of success, so I don't know, man. It's hard to believe that shit.
It's some, bro, but I'm telling you, I've been doing this 26 years this year. I don't know of a dirty cop that I've worked with except one, and he's now about to go to prison.
Nice.
So what is a dirty cop then, right? Because I'm sure that there's a bunch of people that you know who kind of color
that
around the
videotape
lines
you
a
sent
little
us.
bit, like they don't do everything by the book because you know what I mean. Like that's what we do in our jobs,
plan
right?
shit on
I think it's a
people. They
human.
can't get you.
It's a bit.
You got
All right, hold on.
You got something called
Goddamn,
7
bro.
deadly sins.
He murdered in the back of his police car. He raped a prostitute. That's a dirty cop. Like yes.
You got something right here called a 7 deadly sins, and if you violate any one of those 7 deadly sins, you automatically lose your certification. And no ifs, ands, or buts. They just got one now that if I know another cop is doing something wrong, and I don't report it, I can lose my certification. That just got
You said they just put that in place now. You saying
like a year or two ago?
That feels like it's about 200 years late, don't you think?
Let's say, for instance, that I know you taking an hour or two overtime extra, or whatever.
Right.
I know you're doing that. Is that enough for me to blow a whistle on you and you lose your? Look, man. You know if you get caught, such and such.
Right. So that's regular work shit.
Like I call you out on it, and you don't. But now, if I know you're doing that, and I'm your supervisor or another officer, and I don't let somebody higher up know, and it get back, I could lose my job as well.
Really?
So
Yeah. But that's the
like
corporation part. Like I don't care about the cops playing the city to get more money. I don't give a fuck about that shit. I'm talking about where they meet the people. That's where the of course. And the fact that that's the focus, I think, is a part of the problem, right? Because anything the corporations can do to make sure that they're not paying people enough, that's super trash. And if a cop feels like he has to kind of like color outside the lines to get a few extra dollars, that's like, you mean, for a couple of hours of overtime, like that's why aren't we paying them better? Why aren't they more taken care of so that that's not an issue? That doesn't feel like a choice. You feel what I'm saying?
I understand what you're saying, but the taxpayer is paying that. You're paying that.
Teachers should
Sure,
get it before
absolutely.
cops.
Well, again, we got to rework the entire. we got to rework the entire.
They should all
system,
get it, man. Doctors, teachers, cops. They should all get it.
Yeah, absolutely.
All civil servants should get that loot.
I don't. This is me now. I'm speaking for Dan. I don't have to be filthy rich. I just think I should make enough money where I don't have to pick up a second job. Now I work 2 jobs because my main job pays off my bills and everything else. Then my other job where I play with, I would like to make enough where
you don't have to do that second job, right?
I can do that. Not worry about it. I'm cool.
That's the American lie, though, right? Like people used to be able to do that supposedly, right? And now, not so much anymore. Which is just it's the evolution of capitalism. That's just kind of the way it works. It's disgusting, and it's been that, and everybody's living pretty much the same life, no matter what the fuck profession you're doing, right? So it's fucked up out here in these streets, especially because a lot of the jobs or the occupations that kind of have you dealing with people directly, they call like low skill. So then it's okay to pay you nothing, right? That like teachers, fucking nurses even are like not getting paid as much as they eat during the pandemic. They still not making, you know what I'm saying? Cops, like every fucking all the shit where you're like customer service, hospitality, all of that stuff where you're like directly dealing with people. It's like, oh, anybody could do that, so we don't have to pay you motherfuckers nothing, and it's trash. Right? Meanwhile,
my son-in-law's a nurse, and he and my daughter live pretty well. Like,
that's what's up. That's what's up. There's a lot of nurses who are not.
I was like, maybe I should get to nurse to feel good. Man,
because like if you're a nurse, say in the Maritimes, like in Halifax, nurses are making. My mom was a nurse. They tried to recruit her out there. They would have gave her like 25,000 more a year that she was getting in Quebec. Quebec can't hold people because everywhere else is paying a lot more,
During the pandemic, my son-in-law was a traveling nurse, and he got paid very well.
Yeah, he must be making good money.
Quite a few $1,000s a week. So I'm like,
putting himself at the same, if not more risk than I would say most cops.
Yeah.
Keep it real.
Like, he got COVID the Alpha variant, the first one. He got it, but then after he took the
shot.
He took the shot. He's straight. But he made good money. Like he did it for a year, and so I'm like,
do you think if cops were paid more that we would have less of these incidents that we're having?
Hell yeah! Did you see 21 Bridges? That fucking movie made me sick. The whole damn precinct is fucking.
I ain't watching it.
I'm like, what? I'm sorry, I don't want to spoil it.
What's that? 21 Jump Street?
Nah, it's
21 Bridge Street.
I know what's gonna happen in it.
Oh, that shit!
I'm going to see it for the acting. You know what?
That shit pissed me the fuck off. I'm sorry for all that cursing.
Did you like the movie though, Danny?
Oh, we're not supposed to cuss? Damn.
No. I try.
It's called getting it off your chest, however it comes out, yo.
Chadwick Boseman. I like it because of Chadwick Boseman, but I don't like the premise of it. Because I mean, a whole.
Is this a new movie?
No, it's all.
It was one of his.
2019 came out.
Yeah.
Who's
I think it's the last movie he made.
Chadwick Boseman. No, the last movie he made was
Mom Raimi's.
Four Brothers. Oh, Mom Raimi's. Yeah.
Mom
Four
Raimi's.
Brothers, then Mom Raimi's. Yeah, which was good too.
Yeah, but if we get paid more, you wouldn't have to worry about so much corruption.
And it would attract more like
legit people,
higher skilled people. It would attract smarter people and people who want more money, right?
That and where I'm working at, a lot of departments, if you get a degree, they pay you more, better stuff.
Right.
So,
really?
Okay. It's getting to the place now. In order to become a chief, or not sheriff so much, but definitely a chief, you have to have a degree or as a year's experience. That's when we're there, which is a good thing.
Of course.
Absolutely, man. 100%. Yo, man, this was a great show, man. I'm glad you guys popped on today, man.
Yeah, thanks for inviting me, guys.
Yeah, man, we appreciate
R.Kelly, I was like, oh, look at Nzo. It's like I love stirring shit up.
Oh, I was gonna stir some shit up some more. Roberto, you have a little bit more time?
Yeah, I can give it a little love till 12:30.
All right. Let's stir this shit up a little bit more. I posted this one and Roberto was like, oh, topic. So I was like, yeah, you know what? Yes, it is a topic. So it's about a 5-minute video. Let's listen to what this guy has to say.
Why he look like this though?
Like
I can't hear it.
Can you
He
hear
look
it?
under pressure though. No.
Are asking us to suspend our logical, rational, critical, and analytical capabilities and replace them with
racist?
sympathy for people who are clearly
Wait, hold on. Go back. What is he talking about? I missed the whole setup. Like he's clearly reading, so I missed whatever he thinks he's saying.
It's a good talk though.
I am sick of the trans community. The trans community are asking us to suspend our logical, rational, critical, and analytical capabilities and replace them with sympathy for people who are clearly going through something mentally or neurologically. First, it was transgender. A bunch of grown men asking us to call them women because they felt that way.
What about the women who are asking you to call them men?
They gave them operations. They made them become more feminine. They chopped off their testicles. They chopped off their penises. They gave them breast augmentations and hormone therapy. And hey, presto, I'm a woman. The fact that their chromosomes clearly indicate that they are men means absolutely nothing. What matters is the way they feel. Rachel Dolezal, a white lady in America, attempted to convince the world that she is transracial. She identifies as a black woman. She even had a position in the NAACP, the National Association for the Advancement of Colored People. A white woman convinced herself and the rest of the world that she's black, and she went to work in a black organization. The fact that her genetics indicate that she's European means absolutely nothing. What matters is the way she feels. Now, here comes trans age. Emil Rattleband, a 70-year-old man who is now asking the court to change the date on his birth certificate because he feels more in his 40s.
I remember that.
The amount of times that the Earth has orbited the sun while he's been alive means absolutely nothing. What matters is how he feels. Now here comes trans-able. People who feel like they should have been disabled. Some of them even try to cut off their limbs and cause themselves harm just to feel disabled. The fact that they are perfectly healthy means absolutely nothing. What matters is the way they feel. Transracial.
Every single day.
Trans age and transgender. What's next? Now, before I get called all kinds of phobics,
there's nothing next. There's nothing
I will say
next.
this.
That's the
Every
four
human on
things
this
you
planet
after transsexual
deserves
are
their
real
human
things.
rights. I do not wish to kill, harm, enslave, or maim the trans community. But what I am asking is for the trans community to stop the bullshit. Because if you feel this way, that doesn't mean that we should also see you this way. I see myself as handsome. However, if I went to court to force through a motion that all that look at me should call me handsome, well, that's just plain arrogant and egotistical. I'm entitled to my feelings, as are you. But your feelings are about yourself. They should not be my concern. They are your concern. What trans people are asking us to do is to see them the way they see themselves. It's perception. And perceptions are subjective and not objective. Your perception is not our perception. And we are not obligated to call you the thing that you wish to be called. Now, what does the future look like? In my opinion, if we continue along these lines, there will be such blurred lines that we will reach the point of no return. I want us to be very careful because we are raising a generation of very smart young people. And if an adult can identify as a younger person, then the time will come when that younger person now wants to identify as an adult. And hey presto, we will have parents that are now younger than their actual children. The actress Charlize
some
Theron
parents are younger than the children.
is raising her adopted boy as a girl. She stated that at 3 years old, he said to her, "I'm not a boy." And bingo, she decided to raise him as a girl. Now, I would love for that child, okay, to say to his mother at 7 years old, I'm not 7, mummy, I'm 54. And see if she now wants to raise him as a 54-year-old man or woman. The lines of facts are about to become very blurred. And apparently, we, the rational thinking public, will be wrong for speaking about the descending madness.
Well, you'll be wrong about all the dumb shit that you said so far.
That identifies as a child and a child that identifies as an adult will engage in a relationship. And the words
and that is the inevitable end.
And pedophilia will not be enough, because they will be drowned out by I identify as, and could you use the proper pronoun? This is our future.
So what is the response then? What's the call to action?
I'm just some black guy on the internet.
What is he saying? I hate this shit. I hate everything about it.
Let's hear it. Thoughts?
He makes a good point and then he says some dumb shit right after it, right? I hate when people do that shit. They mix their fact with fiction. Here's the thing. We don't understand how gender identity works. We thought we understood it for a long time. Roberto muted.
We can't all think the same. We can't all think the same. I had the same discussion. I'm entitled to my thoughts.
What does that mean? We can't.
My thoughts do not determine who I am, because, like I said, I feel like this shit's being forced on us. I don't have a say. I don't have a decision if in what I see on TV. There's no. I'm getting riled up. Maybe I should just hold on before I talk. Go ahead. I'm getting riled up. It's a very sensitive topic here because I'm old school. And I can't just allow this new generation to determine what I see and what I feel is. I have my own mind. I have my own thoughts. As long as I don't share it with other people, who are you to tell me how to think and see things? That's my opinion.
Yeah.
How would anyone know what you think and see if you don't share it?
Because they sure enough come in my face and pose some questions. How do you feel about this? What is it your fucking business how I feel about it? Don't come to me if you can't accept the answer you're going to hear. That's my point. Everybody wants everything to come. No, if you come to me, this is my is my motto, Yello. You come in my yard, I will visit you. You walk by my yard, I don't know who you are.
I think I understand what you're saying. When someone comes and they ask you for your opinion, then you give it, then they flame on you, and you're like, "Hold on, bitch! So then leave me alone. Don't ask me nothing." That's what you're saying.
Very much. That's how I roll. Okay. New York style.
Cool.
Go ahead, Danny.
But they're just so insistent on asking. Sorry, go ahead, Danny.
I understand some of the points that guy was saying. I understand. It kind of seems, and I agree with Roberto on some of what he's saying. Just some of it, that sometimes people that feel that certain way or live that certain lifestyle try to make people that don't have that certain lifestyle or certain belief kind of shove it down their throat sometimes. All I'm saying is, look, if you want to dress up like somebody or identify as somebody, I don't care. Just don't throw it in my face. I don't throw my beliefs in your face and stuff. If you don't ask me or if we don't interact, you may not know that I don't like football, but if you and I interact and you find out I like football, or you found that I may like redheads, and I found out that you like redheads, but you like redheads of the same sex, then okay, I know that, and I'm going to adjust my conversation or my lack of a conversation accordingly. So if I find out that you like a certain thing and I don't believe in it or like it, I'm not going to say that your way is wrong or evil. I'm just going to say your way is not not my cup of tea. So, hey, have at it. Do what you want to do. I don't care.
They will tell you, Danny, that your way is wrong and evil. And you're anti this and anti that.
I have an issue if they label me something. Oh, so you're just homophobic. Or no, I'm not homophobic. I'm like, I don't give a damn it. That's what I am. I don't give a damn it what you do. That's what you want to do. Then you do it. But don't make me, because I don't like that. I like women. I don't like same sex. So I mean, if that's what makes you happy, that's what floats your boat. If you want to dress up like women, you want to change your sex, go have at it. but don't ask me to like it or get on with it because I just don't believe that. And I think the same way they get a right to express themselves, I got a right to express myself and say, hey, that ain't cool.
That's all I'm saying.
That ain't where I was raised. My belief system's in. So you stay on this side of the road. I'm going to treat you with respect if we got to interact, but I'm not going to. We probably ain't gonna be friends. I can tell you that. We probably not gonna be friends. Like I would be.
So
friends
you won't be friends with them because they're gay.
Certain lifestyle, just like not just because it's certain things. Like my brother, or a crackhead, or a drug addict. I'm not gonna be a friend with a drug addict because I don't believe in that. Or I'm not gonna be friend with somebody I know is a thief because I don't believe in that.
So who they choose to have sex with is the same as using drugs or thieving, is what you're saying.
No, I'm saying their lifestyle and their habits.
What are the habits and the lifestyle that they do that you were like, I can't have that nowhere near me?
But there's a saying: if you hang with 9 broke
sucking
friends,
dick.
you're bound
So
to
if
be
a dude
the
is sucking dick next to you, you will not be friends with him. What if he's sucking dick in his house and every once in a while y'all get together and play cards? So you can't play cards with a dude who sucks dick, is what you're saying.
I'm just saying I probably won't get out with him, and that's what I'm saying.
Did you hear the ridiculousness? Do you not hear that ridiculousness that you're saying? It's niggas who will not play cards with you right now.
On my side for a minute, but that's
okay, and I don't
do
care.
whatever you want. I don't care.
They're right. I've been living with that realization for 51 years.
Absolutely. But recognize how it's broken. The thought process is fucked up. Just that's all I'm saying. Like, do what you want, but recognize that there's some dumb shit that you're thinking.
How's it dumb?
Because you're saying that what a man does in his private life is enough for you to not play cards with him or associate.
Old way of thinking is dumb.
You cannot have your own. If somebody is doing something that you totally don't believe in, that it just morally you don't believe in, you gonna be friends and hang out with
R.Kelly.
Yeah,
you have a
you
feeling
think there's a distinct difference between a man who decides to suck some dick or dress up as a woman and a man who decides to prey on young girls. There's a difference. There's a distinct difference between these things.
If I can tell you the distinct difference, maybe you'll understand.
Go ahead.
Look at the way you reacted to R.Kelly and look at the way we reacted. You said Nzo was kind of glorifying him. You're like, put him away right away. Put him away right away.
That's not what I said.
You didn't say that?
What I said, no, I didn't say that. What I said was you're distracted from the issue.
Yes, it's the same thing.
There's a difference between glorifying and distraction.
It's a distraction. I'll change the word. Distraction.
Right. You distract from the actual issue when you start talking about all this other stuff.
Put him away, whatever. I don't care.
He has to go. He has to go.
That's your,
and I'm good. And I'm off his music.
That's your opinion. And Nzo has his opinion of the matter. And I have my opinion of the matter. And Danny has his opinion. Who am I to say yours is wrong and his is right and his is
opinion. You're
mischaracterizing
the situation.
Opinions,
you're mischaracterizing the situation.
Opinions.
The only difference in opinion
isn't wrong. It's his opinion. You can't justify being wrong because you see it different.
You're mischaracterizing the fact.
No, you're mischaracterizing. You can't use these big words all the time and confuse shit, Yello. I see it how it is. The only difference of
opinion that we had was about the music. That's the only difference of opinion.
What I'm trying to say, it's all based on opinion. My opinion is not wrong. It's my opinion. You determine it to be wrong.
No, but you have to be nuanced about what you're saying, though.
Danny, your thoughts, the way you're thinking is kind of stupid. Why is it stupid? Because it's not the way you think. That's why it's stupid.
Because it's prejudice. It's prejudice based on stuff that ain't got nothing to do with you.
It's not prejudice. You're making it
Is.
prejudice.
That's what it is. No, I'm not making it. That's what it is.
You're making it prejudice. Everything around this LGBTQ is prejudice if you're not on their side. You guys are the new bully. You guys are the new bully. If we don't agree with your thoughts, if we don't agree with your ways,
you're dancing around the issue. The world is changing around you and you can't handle it. That's what's happening.
We're anti if we don't agree with you. If we don't say yes, I want a gay guy sitting with me, I'm anti.
What was the question that I asked? Yeah.
Am I anti? If I don't want a gay guy sitting next to me who sucks cock like you say, am I anti?
The question was,
if
a dude sucks dick, you can't play cards with him, right? You can't be friends with a dude.
Could I sit next to a man? Am I sitting next to a man when I'm playing cards? He sucks dick.
Sure, but that's not the issue, though.
Am I anti? Because I don't want to sit next to a man that sucks dick.
There's no logic behind it is the point that I'm putting out. That's the problem. There's no logic behind that.
Am I anti or am I not? That's all I'm asking. can't answer
but I'm not saying you're anti. That's
and
an
I'm
argument
not
that you're
saying you
having
are.
with
I'm
people
trying
on
to
social
feel
media.
you and see if you are calling me anti or not. If
No,
I don't want
right.
to
No,
sit
you're
next
trying
to
to
a
trap
man
me
who
so that you
sucks
can be
dick,
right about the dumb shit that you're saying. What I'm saying
no,
is
Yello, I'm
the
asking you a
logic
question,
is
man. You
broken.
can't
That's
answer
what I'm
it.
saying. The logic is broken. That's what I'm saying.
The logic
That's
is
what I'm
not
saying. There's a
broken.
cognitive
It's not
dissonance
broken.
between these two things.
Your thought is broken. That's how we see it. We're old school. You guys are broken. You guys are twisted with
So
your
explain it.
thoughts
Explain
because
it.
everyone is an individual. If you see white, I can't say you're twisted if it's black. That's how you see it, brother. All the power to you. And I move on. But for you to address my opinion as whacked or good, who are you to say? Who is your majority to defy this? Nobody. It's your opinion. That's all I'm saying. My opinion is if I don't want to be pushed with gay scenes, doesn't mean I'm anti, it means I want a choice. Don't give it to me if I don't want to see it. And if I want to see it, I should have a choice to see it. And if I don't want to see it, doesn't mean I'm anti, it just means I don't want to see it. That's all.
Right, but
If you
that's not
want
the
to pry
conversation that we're having.
deeper, maybe
We're
I'll
not
tell
talking
you
about.
why.
We're not talking about if you should have the right to turn off some shit if there's some gay shit happening on the TV. That's not what's happening, right? We're talking about not being able to share space with somebody who puts a penis in their mouth. That's what we're
Okay, but
talking
does
about.
that make me anti?
That was me and you. That I don't think.
Right, that's what I was talking
on that
about. That's what I was
Well,
asking.
that's what got me irked. That's
Right,
what
but
got
I'm
me
not
irked
saying
because I
what I'm
know that's
saying
an
is
anti
the logic is
conversation.
broken because it got nothing. Like if it's a woman who puts a penis in his mouth, you have no problem with that, right?
Maybe I do.
What's the difference?
But no one asked me.
They're doing it over there. Now, if y'all playing cards and he invites somebody over and start blowing his dick while y'all
Hold
playing
on.
cards, now there's
I
a
have sex
breaking
with
of the
women.
boundary there.
Maybe if
There's
I'm
a
sitting
boundary
with
that's
that
being
gay
broken.
guy, he has a problem with me eating pussy because all he does is suck dick. You ever think of that?
But that's
Does he
imaginary
have a problem
bullshit
with
that
me being there
justifies your
because I eat
thinking.
pussy?
That's not a real thing. You're saying now
Why
you're
not?
saying maybe
Why isn't
he
that a
has a
real
problem
thing?
with me.
Why
This is
can't
what
he
you're saying.
think like that?
You're saying I can imagine that he cannot like me because I eat pussy, so I cannot like him because he sucks dick. That's some bullshit. That's some
I'm
broken,
saying
justifiable,
could
rationalizing
this guy
bullshit that you're
sit
doing.
next to me and say, listen, you can't sit next to me because you eat pussy? Could he say that to me? Or could I say to him, listen, son, you suck dick, you can't sit next to me?
Those are all broken. Those are all
They
irrational
are all
thoughts. Those are
broken.
all
But if you
illogical,
don't
dumb
ask
things.
me, you will never know. And that's what
But
I'm
it
trying to
doesn't.
say.
But it
More
doesn't matter.
times than not, the people of the LG, sorry, I can't get that the abbreviation down correctly, but they are more likely to instigate this conversation and means of bullyism than the people who aren't. That's what I'm trying to say.
That's not true.
But you can say it's not true all you want, Yello. Doesn't mean it's right.
There's a whole history of what is considered the dominant culture and what is considered normal, basically shunning, right, hiding, torturing, murdering, like all this type of shit, hazing, all kinds of bullying to the subculture or the minority cultures in every aspect, every single way. Now, because the world is starting to recognize and have conversations about these things, there is a change. Now, are there people who are trash, who are of these communities who do go out and bully? Absolutely. But to say that they're more likely to or all of that shit is just not true because that's not how people work.
They're
It's just not how
jumping on
people
that
work.
momentum because now it's a wave. They're riding the wave. The power is there because you see, I used to see back in the day guys going and beating up gays. I thought it was wrong. I wasn't those guys. It happened. I saw it, and Nzo could adhere to it. It was fucking wrong, right? But I see the reverse now. I see more gays.
You're seeing a bunch of gay dudes going to beat up straight people. That's what you're saying?
I didn't say beat up. You didn't let me finish.
I'm asking.
Attacking, verbally attacking, descending, insulting, and they get a following like this. Oh, what? You don't like gays?
But the same thing.
You hater. You basher. And they all start pointing. Like it's like, what the fuck? When did this change happen?
Is true. The same thing is true for every single group, and because they are a smaller section of the population, it's not as big. I'm talking about right now. I'm talking about right now. There is far more gay people who are being trashed on in LGBT, all of the queer, whatever the fuck it is, who are being trashed in social media or in life or at all of that shit than there are straight people being. Of course not, because you're sensitive to when the LGBT do it to straight folks, right? But you're not seeing when it's happening to them.
I see what
That's
I
what I'm
see.
saying.
I see what I see. You're making it sound like I'm there going on the net looking for it. I'm literally typing it in my search. Gays bashing
I'm
straight
saying that
people.
that's what triggers you. You have
I'm
a
saying
feeling
this is
about it,
what's
so you
happening
notice
now.
it. That's what I'm
you
saying.
watch any kind of reality TV, it's all gay. And if it isn't gay, they're talking about, but that's what you don't know, Yellow, and I'm sharing with you. They're talking about gay.
I don't watch reality
and the
TV because
people
it's
that
trash.
aren't on this gay train, they are exiled. They are the shunned. They are the ones picked on, and it's not fucking right. That's all I'm saying. I believe in right and wrong. When the gays get it, it's wrong. When the straight people get it, it's wrong. I'm not trying to take sides. I'm just showing you the wrong in a situation. That's all. It's wrong.
Right. Bullying is wrong.
Very much
bullying is wrong no matter who does it. No one is saying that bullying is okay. No one's saying that, right? But to say that because of your sexual preference, I can't fuck with you, that's also wrong. And it's
I don't believe in that.
And it's broken.
If you, like you said, if you suck dick and you're sitting beside me and you play cards, as long as you ain't asking me to suck mine, I don't give a shit what you do.
Right.
That's your business.
And
that's the way I roll.
What I'm saying.
And that's the way I roll.
Saying, right?
But what I'm trying to say is if someone asks me if I have a problem with him sucking dick, then you're opening a whole new ballpark because you're not going to get the answer you want. So don't fucking ask the question. Yes, I have a problem with him sucking dick. Well, what's your problem? You're anti this, you're anti.
That doesn't make sense. Why would you have a problem with what he does?
You ask the
question,
with
his mouth?
You better be prepared for answer A or answer B. That's all I'm saying.
Sure, but recognize that it doesn't make sense, though, what you're saying, right? Because now we're talking, all right, I have a problem with him sucking dick. What does him sucking dick have to do with your life? Because it's a completely irrational thought to have.
That's your opinion.
It's not an opinion.
I can find 20 guys who will tell you you're wrong, Yellow. It's just your opinion.
Doesn't matter. That doesn't matter.
Yes, it
That's
does.
irrelevant.
Yes,
this is not a matter of opinion. It's a matter of logical thinking.
It's all about
That's what it's a matter of. No, it's not. That's the problem.
That's what it
the
is.
problem.
It's
Democracy
a problem,
doesn't work,
what it is.
right? Because minority rule means that the majority rule means that the minority suffer. That's why democracy doesn't work.
That's just life.
What are you talking about? What are you talking about?
If enough people say that shit's yellow and one person says it isn't, something's wrong with that one person, even though that one person's right. Majority wins, man. That's how it is. Guilty, go to jail because majority says he's guilty. That's how it is, man.
But what does that mean? That doesn't mean
it just means it is what it is. You want definition of everything minuscule? Okay. I don't know,
nuance,
man.
Nuance. We have to approach each thought in a nuanced way, right? We have to look at it from all different perspectives and come to a fact-based conclusion. That's how we have to approach all of these things. It's complicated. It's not easy, right? And it takes a certain level of thought that everybody's not capable of doing. But that's what we have to do to solve any of these like social issues, right? And when you're trying to anybody who's bullying anybody is distracting from that. That's true. I agree that bullying is trash. It's stupid. It doesn't make any sense, right? But also, it doesn't make sense to have these like personal biases that influence how you deal with people, right? That's also a broken way of thinking. That's all I'm saying.
I feel you. And I'm just saying it's just an opinion. They're all opinions.
No, but there's a point where there's not opinions anymore, right?
But
there's a point where it's not just opinion.
Because if it's a fact, you have to prove it. And I can't see how you're going to prove that.
Prove what? Prove what?
That what you're saying is a fact. I'm saying it's an opinion.
What am I saying?
You don't know what you just said?
I'm asking you what you think I'm saying.
And I told you it's your opinion.
Right. Yeah.
That's what I'm taking from it.
Talk about it anymore. I'm not talking about an opinion.
You like playing tennis, eh, Yellow?
What I'm talking about is logical reasoning. I'm talking
illogical.
Yes, that's exactly.
And again, that's your opinion.
Yeah. It's not a matter of opinion.
Yes, it is.
It's not a matter of opinion.
If you look at the chat, you're going to see a whole bunch of shit. I agree with Roberto. Go, refresh. It's just an opinion, Yellow. It's just an opinion.
500 years ago, everyone in the world thought it was flat.
No, I
1,200
never thought
years
it was
ago,
fucking
everybody
flat.
thought Earth was the
Those
center
are
of the
some
universe.
Those are
And
those
until
people.
yesterday, you thought we were alone on this planet. So Men in Black has the perfect line for how the majority is not always right, right?
Who's he
Or a bunch
talking
of people
about?
is not always right, right? It doesn't matter how many people in the chat agree with you. You all can be wrong, right? And it's easy for
But
humans to
who's
be
going
wrong
to
and think that
determine
they're
that,
right.
Yellow? Who's going to
Wait,
That's
determine
wait,
why
that?
wait,
we
hold
have,
on.
Only
that's why
one
we
guy
have
can
Guys,
do that, and he's
processes.
way
We
up
have
there, yo.
logical
Oh my
process. Well, that's
hold
here
on,
we
hold
go.
on. Let me
Why did I
say
put
this.
my cape on for Danny? I should have just sat back and listened, yo.
Hold on. Let me just say this. Nerdman says, I really have one question, Nzo. Please, can I just ask, where does your attitude towards gay people come from? I didn't say shit.
You see what I mean?
Say nothing. Like through the whole fucking conversation, I did not say
this
one
kills
word.
me, boy.
Why
You're
are
walking
you-
on dental floss when this subject comes up, boy.
Why are you calling me out? I didn't say anything.
Because you know what? I kind of had the same kind of tennis match with Nerdman because he was being all sensitive to the matter too. You're allowed to have your beliefs, and I don't question them. I don't criticize them. I don't judge them. But when someone starts telling me my thoughts have a way, I'm going to defend it to the fullest because you're entitled to your opinion. I'm entitled to mine. Mine might be wrong. Doesn't matter. You're not going to tell me it is because you can't prove 100 of fact.
Do you
right.
hear what you're saying? This is my issue.
No, I don't know what I'm saying,
my issue with belief.
This is just an echo going to my left ear and coming out my right.
You just said I might be wrong, but it doesn't. How? How am I insulting you?
How can you ask me? Do I hear what I'm saying? Are you telling me I'm fucking stupid?
Listen to what you're saying. Listen to what you're saying.
I know what I said.
I might be wrong, but it doesn't matter because you can't prove that I'm right.
Always
you can't prove that I'm wrong. That's what you're saying.
Always right?
That's irrelevant.
God?
That's irrelevant.
No, don't tell me it's irrelevant because you seem
it's
to think
irrelevant.
You're
it doesn't matter.
Right. You think you're right all the time.
Absolutely. Yes, I do, but it doesn't matter.
And that's your opinion.
It doesn't. What I'm saying is the statement of it doesn't matter if I'm wrong because you can't tell me nothing different, right? That is the reason why it's so hard to move forward because when people are presented with evidence that's contrary to what they already think.
With a God complex, you understand? I'm telling you that you're entitled to something as much as I am, but you can't seem to get that. I say you're entitled to your opinion as much as I am.
What I'm saying is when you have a thought, right, that someone can provide counter evidence to, and you don't consider that evidence, that is illogical, right? Yeah. That is broken. That's a problem.
Is your counter evidence factual because you're saying it?
Where's your proof? You're making it.
Where is your proof?
What I'm talking about, I could find proof and then we could go into it.
No, you find the proof before you say your shit is factual. Because I can say my shit is factual till I can provide proof. That's how it works.
But that's not what you said, though, right? That's what I'm talking about. That's why I have to ask you if you heard what you said, because now you're changing what you said.
Because an opinion
what
could
you
be
said
wrong.
was, I could be wrong, but it doesn't matter. You're not going to tell me I'm wrong, right?
Because
that's just stubbornness. That's just I've decided that this is true, and it doesn't matter what anybody says.
Do you know the definition of opinion? Do you know the definition since you're so educated? What's the definition of opinion? Please tell me, Yello. Because now I can't think rational because I'm fucking heated because I feel like I'm getting insulted because you're just talking about intelligence all the time. Tell me the definition of opinion.
What are you talking? I'm not talking about.
You don't know what I'm talking about?
I'm talking about
fucking sign language?
Okay.
What's the definition of an opinion?
Right? You've taken it personal, and I'm simply having a conversation.
I told you 3 times I'm taking it personal. Because you keep telling me, do I know what I'm saying? Do you hear what you're saying? Do you know what you're talking? I know what the fuck I'm saying.
Yeah, but so you know what you're saying, but you don't realize the detrimental effect that's having on your thinking, and that's what I'm trying to show you. When you say
what are you going to show me, Yello? What are you
I'm going to say it. You can choose to take it or not. Hopefully, later in life, you'll recognize. Oh, that was right. But like, all I can do is provide you the information. That's all I can do.
Can I ask you a question?
Please.
How old are you?
That's irrelevant.
There you go. I knew I could have fucking told you that would be your answer before I asked you, but that's
because it's irrelevant.
I don't need to say anymore.
Yep.
I think Nerdman had a question, but I think this topic has been beat to death. I think we're gonna.
We obviously can't talk about the LGBTQ up in this place. That's all I can tell you.
No, you absolutely can. No one's stopping
we can't. We can't because
right,
I
well,
want to have a civil conversation
No.
without any
You
name
want
calling.
everybody to think that you're
Without
right.
any name
I
calling.
never called you a name.
Yeah. What
I
did
never
you say
called you a
Danny's
name. I
thoughts
never
were?
called nobody
No,
a name.
not me.
I said it was stupid.
You insulted his
not
thoughts.
your name.
He said,
that thought was dumb. The thought
but
was
it's
dumb.
his thoughts. It
doesn't
what
matter.
he believes. That's not an
My
insult.
fault. I thought it was the O.O.C. I thought it was safe here. We could say whatever we want, but clearly we have
Yes,
to
but
agree
you got to
with
get
Roberto.
ready for tennis, baby. It's called tennis.
You
You can't
You're the
just
one who
blurt
got
out
mad,
shit
not me.
without
I
getting
didn't care.
rebounds.
I'm not.
I get rebounds. I had an
You're
heated
the one
argument
who
with
wants that.
Nerdman.
You're
We
the one who
laughed
wants that.
after
Though.
the show. It's like
You're
hockey.
the one who can't handle the tennis, not me. I don't care.
I can't
It's
handle
never
it.
personal
I
for
am
me.
fucking John
You're the one who's
McEnroe.
angry.
I call it tennis because I love it. I love it. You never see John McEnroe on the court? He fucking
Yeah, I don't
screams
know
at
what that
everybody,
is,
but
bro.
he still wins. You think
I don't
he
watch
lost
tennis.
it, but he didn't lose it, yo.
So let me explain real quick, Yello. I don't think you understand. He's not necessarily really mad at you, right? It's a heated debate.
I'm not taking it. I'm not taking it personally.
Yeah, I'm saying at the end of the day, everything is cool. We can go back and it's gonna be done. That's it. Like there's no more of that. You know what I mean? It's just this is how it was. It was heated. I let it go, but I think
it's a very sensitive topic for me. I'm sorry, Yello. If I insulted you, I apologize.
I never was insulted, and I don't feel that way.
You know you're my boy. I always holler you, but when I found out what debating is, I know there's always a winner, but people have to speak their piece. That's all it is, speaking their piece. It's their opinion. It's their view on a matter, be it's right or wrong. It's your view. Sometimes I get a little too heated and I don't listen to the other side. You're right. I'm man enough to say it. But we all have a topic that kind of touches us, right? Where you let your anger get the best of you sometimes where you don't want it to. And if I did and I insulted anybody, I apologize. I'm man enough to say that. But this is just how I feel about this topic.
We have to push past the point where talking about something gets you emotional. We have to push past.
No, but everybody has that trigger,
people,
man. Everybody has that trigger.
And I think everybody has to push past it.
Politics, religion.
I think as human beings, we need to push past it. I'm talking about everybody, all of us. That's what I'm talking about, which is why I railed so hard against belief that one time, because it's that concept that leads us to say shit like, I could be wrong. It doesn't matter. You're not going to tell me nothing different. Right. It's that concept. It's the idea that regardless of what any information says, I don't have to change what I think. Right. Regardless of what the world is telling me, I don't have to change what I think. And I think that is not okay. Right. In the same way that it's not okay for everybody to have to change what they think. But like that's why when Dude was talking, I only took issue with certain things that he was talking. That whole video he was going off when he said, Rich Dozel tried to prove he's transracial. No one accepted that. No one accepted that. That's complete bullshit. We pushed it aside. Everybody flamed her for it. She lost whatever opportunity she had because of it. All that went away, right? So that's not a real thing. So don't use that to try and make it okay to ignore what the trans community is trying to say. Right. So the fact that so many people are struggling with this idea of gender identity might mean that we have to look at what gender identity is, because it might be something more complicated than a Y or X chromosome. Like as far as humans to reproduce, that's a different thing. Your sex, your natural sex, your sex under the guidelines of whatever the fuck it means for a species to have a sex determined about them might be different from what your gender identity might be. And it might be something that's only specific to humans because we have more complicated brains. But it's something that we have to look at, and we can't look at it until we start listening to what people are saying, right? So this idea that like, just because you feel a way doesn't mean that I have to honor it. No, you as an individual don't have to honor anything, but the society as a whole, you as an individual don't have to honor anything, but the society as a whole should work towards understanding it so that we can make the world feel comfortable for these people, so that we can weed out the bad actors, the mentally ill, and those people who are actually dealing with some kind of gender identity issue, if that's a real thing. But we have to look at it with all of our personal biases aside and actually study it. Those of us here, us four, we're not going to be able to do that. That's not what we do, right? Right. But that's how we need to approach all of the things. We need to always approach all of the things from a scientific perspective, as in using the scientific method, not using old science to determine new shit, and also from a nuanced perspective. That's how we have to that's how we have to approach all of the things. And if we're not doing that, we're probably doing it wrong.
I got a few super chats to go through, and then I'm going to lighten it up. Nerdman had a question, so we're going to go for 10 minutes. I'm going to let Nerdman ask his question. K-Dot said $2 super chat. Thank you very much. He said, Nzo, did you like that trash what episode? Wasn't that trash, bro? I liked it. K-Dot, stop it, go to sleep. Was not trash. Absolutely. So Blasted, another $2 super chat. Well, Danny sent $2, and then So Blasted, thank you very much, guys, once again. So Blasted said that ish was trash. And then So Blasted sent another $2 super chat and said spicy topic. Yeah, that's how we do here on the O.O.C. You know what I mean? Get off our chest. We talk some stuff. Nerdman, ask your question. Let me just do this one time. Bell Fem, thank you for coming in. Said, I don't understand why you're having this issue about gender. The Almighty Creator made a man and woman. What's the problem? Society is playing with y'all minds. The world is confused.
Wow, that's an interesting comment. Honestly, I have to say that was very entertaining, guys. Both of you, I think.
Actually, a question,
like
bro.
at the end point, like there was a crossing of. I'm going to get to it. I'm going to get to this, but I don't want Roberto and Danny thinking like I'm just here to take like your side. I do believe what you just said about like the in terms of like approaching these things through science is actually like the best attitude to take towards these things. At least society should. That's the objective way to do it. Human brains are incredibly complex. Our neurobiology may be leading to some forms of gender dysmorphia in people, and I think that's probably a true thing. That being said, I just want to know.
It could be all the drugs that people are on. It could be a whole bunch of things, right? But we have to first take it seriously to then approach figuring out what's going on.
Right, and I agree with that. But I was going to say that the opinions on either side are fair enough. I mean, there's you should, as Roberto has been saying, questions of morality can't be seen as this objective thing that you're talking about, Yello. I mean, it's still a question of morality is not the same as the Earth is flat, right? Like the Earth is flat or the Earth is spherical. A question of morality is always up to interpretation, and it's always up to life experience, and there's a whole bunch of things that go into it. It's very hard to prove something is morally speaking objectively right. What you can say is that perhaps you can say that perhaps if something is in place morally speaking, that society in general will benefit from it. You can say the greatest happiness may lead from this specific moral position, but you can't say it's objectively true. So people are entitled to their opinions, and I agree with Roberto on that.
There's a difference between having an opinion and fostering prejudice. That's what I was pointing out.
This is what I wanted to.
I don't want to play cards with somebody who sucks dick. That's a prejudice.
I don't think that's what Roberto was saying, but
I never said that.
I think Danny said that.
And then Roberto put the cape on. I just said. I understand what happened.
Okay, so here's my question. Anyway, it was to Danny specifically because I know Roberto's position. I'm just asking Danny this. Why do you? I don't want to call it prejudice. I want to call it whatever you want to call it because I don't want to offend you. Why do you have the attitude that you have towards homosexuality? What's the origin of it?
Okay, two things. I was raised in a very religious setting. My parents both pastors. That's what I've been taught my whole entire life. Second thing is reality is most of my all my male friends. There's going to come a time when we're going to see a woman and we're going to have conversations and stuff, and I'm not going to feel comfortable if somebody's gay and they're talking about their exhibits or their whatever.
Ooh, look at that dude abs though. I could imagine rubbing my tongue all up and down his belly button.
So I'm not going to feel that. So, if I know that you have that kind of way, we have a working professional relationship. I'm going to treat you just as fair, whatever. But if we try to go past that and become friends like I am with Nzo, Roberto, and like I would like to think with Yello, I'm not going, and we start talking about that, and you bring it up, I'm going to feel very uncomfortable, and it's probably going to lead to me saying some fucked up shit. So I don't even want to put myself or the other person in that position.
So your position is about like whether they throw it in your face that they're this. So they have to around you or around, you know, in society somehow. I'm just trying to understand. They have to somehow like you know, hide or kind of subtly move around, you know, people because the dominant sexuality is straight, essentially. Because you said earlier, like you don't want them, you don't throw it in their face, your lifestyle. But when you go on a date with your wife, right? When you hold her hand in the park, when you kiss her, that's throwing straightness in people's face. So as Roberto said, earlier,
you not let me
right?
finish.
Like
I don't.
No. I'm just trying to illustrate the point. But yeah, sure.
But I'm illustrating to you. Danny don't do PDAs in public. I don't do that. I just don't.
Oh, so you don't take your kids out to play ball?
No, I'm saying I don't like kiss
my
wife
in public and
okay, but
things of affection. I don't do that with my wife.
But you're saying that they should hide all forms of gayness.
I'm not saying that. No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying
from your viewpoint or your site,
no, sir.
and or
I'm
at least
let him answer.
Or at least
I'm saying that if you identify, I know that you do that lifestyle, and if we become friends and boys normally talk about their sexual exploits or what their fantasies, whatever. I don't want to hear about a male gay person's sexual fantasies. I just don't want to hear that because I'm not going to feel comfortable.
Can't you just ask them not to talk to you about that because it makes you feel uncomfortable, but still be friends?
I'm just saying, in real life, realistically, that's what heterosexual males do at one point in time if they become friends. They're going to talk about something that happened, and then you get comfortable because that's what happens. All the male friends I have, and me and Nzo, we text all the time things. And
yeah, you talk about Halle Berry or some shit like what you want to do to her, and like all of that kind of stuff. Yeah,
now I'm friends. Now fast forward, I'm friends with somebody that has that lifestyle.
But why don't you?
They send me some schlong. I don't want to see that shit.
I've got gay friends, and not one time has one of them sent me a picture of their schlong. Well, all I'm asking is maybe if you take one step, which is like simply say, hey, I can have this friend. Let me ask him, can you not talk to me about your, like, you know, like, it just makes me uncomfortable if something like that comes up. Like, just say that. And maybe he'll have the choice. He'll say, hey, I don't want to be your friend because I think that's fucked up that you won't let me talk about, like, this. Or you could say, or they might say, okay, it's fair enough. I won't talk to you about it. And then you have an opportunity to just get to know the person independently of their sexuality and see that it doesn't define their whole being. It doesn't define their whole being. Being straight doesn't define your whole being. You've got many different facets to you.
People talk about putting their dick between feet. It makes me very uncomfortable. Very, very uncomfortable. Right?
I love it.
There's no difference. There's no difference.
I'm just saying.
Go ahead.
Okay.
When that hits the 3 hour mark, we're closing. So go ahead, guys.
What kind of ice cream you like, Yello?
Chocolate, man. Chocolate. Throw some other shit in there. Chocolate.
All right. I prefer coffee. I mean,
it's nasty. It's disgusting.
Okay.
And I'm uncomfortable now with you because of it.
All right.
But I won't not play cards with you because of it.
Okay, that's fine. But guess what? I won't lose no sleep over that. I won't.
How do you know? How do you know just because I'm? How do you know just because I'm straight? There's not some funny sex shit I like doing. That's going to make you uncomfortable.
Clearly, you have a lisp. Okay. Everybody with a lisp has funny sex shit that they like.
Well, I know this. I know this to be true.
I know Roberto's into like
y'all can call me.
Man.
Y'all can call me.
Hold on. Go ahead, Danny. Finish.
You can call me dumb, old-fashioned, prejudice, whatever tickles your face.
I don't think you are.
Because at
Don't
the
forget
end of the
Southern,
day,
Danny.
I really don't give a shit because it ain't gonna change my mind. Just like my ideas ain't gonna change your mind. I'm just
I only
saying,
think
in
your
a perfect
prejudice.
world, I would prefer not to be in that situation.
Sure.
But if it happens,
By the way, I don't think
Hitler had a
your
perfect
I
world idea,
don't I
too. It
don't
was
I don't
crazy.
think your prejudice in in the sense of like some real detriment to society. I think a lot of people thinking like you might have some negative impact on society, but in
Which it
general,
does, which
I
is the
think
point.
but I think personally talking to you, I don't think it's about prejudice. I think it's about not knowing gay people. I really
This show
do.
got
Because
2 thumbs down. We're rocking on Nzo.
already, just from me coming on,
Right.
little old me.
No, I just think it's that
Birdman showed
abbreviated
up and 2 thumbs down
conversation.
showed up.
Shit happens, you know.
And it's all good because they still giving me the engagement.
Yeah, they have to take the time to press something.
Hey man,
I'll tell you this.
I know who the haters are anyway. So go ahead.
I mean, and the religion thing. I just think, I mean, it's really interesting to me that because I mean, religion is a matter of faith, right? It's an irrational system, and you're basing
It requires irrationality.
It requires
it's demanded by the concept of belief.
Right. I mean, it's not based on fact. Yeah, I mean I don't mean to call your beliefs irrational. I'm just saying it's not. That's part and parcel of the whole
belief is
kind of
inherently
picture.
irrational. To call a belief irrational is fact. It's not. You can't like
a belief based on no evidence.
That's what belief requires. That's
not all beliefs. Some beliefs are based on evidence.
This is a generational thing, you know.
Right. That's
the
what
old
Boston
school.
says.
The old school's way of thought is always bashed and made to think that that's the old way of thinking. This is the new way. Well, you know what the old people say: "Have your fun, kids," and just go about their day. That's it. That's it.
Danny, look, I get your point of view, man. I'm just saying, like, part of what Yello is saying about society having trouble moving forward is right, and it's because old, young, whatever. There's a stubbornness sometimes to just be like open to just just taking one step in a direction, just to open perhaps the potential that you might be wrong. I have to do that as well. I mean, I have to do that as well. I have to be open to the potential that I am wrong.
Yeah,
Otherwise, none of us
open to the potential of letting somebody else interrupt you sometimes. Just be open to the potential.
or that the MCU isn't trash. It's like I have to be open to that, possibility.
Oh my God.
Nerdman will not be back on the show, guys.
You know what? If you think back, Nzo, you remember what I said the first time we talked about this?
Mm-hmm.
This is called change, right? Everything involving change requires time. When you start determining the time you get rebel, because people don't want to be told when or where they should have to. The vaccine, adjust to this new cancel culture, the LGBTQ, when we have a way of thinking, when you go through something for a long time, it's hard to break out of it. Am I right in saying that, guys? Like, if you do something enough, it becomes easier, right? Like riding a bike, the first time you fall, the more now you could ride a bike, no hands, and then you could stop riding for 2 years and still get on a bike and ride because it becomes natural.
Second nature.
Yes, second nature. Thank you. And I'm not justifying our way of thinking is, again, repetitive. Justified, but allow us time to change. Don't determine when it's time for us to change. Let us change. Because, some of us could absorb it faster than others. Some guys learn to walk faster than others. Doesn't mean they're smarter. It's just the way it is. Now, for me, I took long to take my shot. Doesn't mean I didn't believe in the vaccine. Doesn't mean I didn't believe in the fact that it exists. It just took me more time. Why do I have to justify everything? That's my point.
I mean,
I don't feel like I have to justify.
Where would we be if we didn't push a little bit? People who believe in things, whether
But
they're right
sometimes
or
you
wrong,
push, you get people
you need to
rebelling,
push them.
nerd man. It doesn't
That's
always
fine.
move with momentum the way you
fine,
want.
but that's fine. But you have to accept that there
I
are
don't.
people.
That's
who
just
wanna...
it. I don't have to.
Wait. You haven't listened to what you have to accept. You haven't listened to what you have to accept. I'm saying you have to accept that push forward, just like the civil rights movement, right? It's like you could say, hey, wait a second. Some white people had to take time, to like process all of this.
My point being,
you
made a good point, nerd man.
Right?
You made a good point. You made a good point. How long did it take the civil rights movement to take place? When they came with the notion of the civil rights movement, did it happen the next day?
Too long. That's
no, my point being is you can't determine the time frame.
Shorter.
You can't determine the time frame. You can only make a request for it to happen and use the momentum to do it. But if you try and do it too fast or you try and do it too slow, the outcome's different. No?
Perhaps I have to go to
okay,
work.
That's what I'm trying to say. So if you treat us as individuals,
that's a problem,
individuals where you treat me with a little more, or you treat Danny with a little more sensitivity in explaining it than me,
I think
because Danny's a little more rational in his thoughts.
He has.
Maybe you might get different results. But if you treat us all the same, you won't get those results, and you better be prepared for it. That's all I'm telling you.
I feel like I've been quite sensitive, though, bro. I don't know.
Everybody is. Everybody is.
I've been respectful hearing you.
I am not sensitive.
You see, he's not.
Know how to
That's
be
my
sensitive.
point. You will never get
struggle
changed
with
that way.
being sensitive. I don't care.
Never get changed.
That's
Like,
not
if you don't
right.
care, why you
Like
trying?
that's just what it is. It's a compulsion. I can't help but point out fuck shit when I see it. That's just my thing. I don't. I can't stop it. Right. But when you talk about like, when you're saying it's going to take time and you don't get to dictate the flow of that time, you're on the side of the people who are unwilling to change when you say that, right? But that,
but I've got to say
it's not an opinion. He took the side of the white people when he made his civil rights. It's not an opinion. That's what we just saw it happen. Like you just call it an opinion because you just you was literally like, but it took time.
Okay,
and
now I see where you're going with it. I see where you're going, Yello. Thank you.
That's what happened. That's what happened.
You're very judgmental.
It took time.
You're very judgmental. There's always like, you're this or you're that, right?
I am just no. That's
what I'm seeing from you.
No, that's just
let me get to this
That's
comment.
what you did.
Bell said, I don't get it. At the end of the day, each individual persons have a choice, free will. Can't force anything.
Thank you very much. I like Bell fan.
I'll ask, just keep it moving and allow the person to decide on their own. It's on them.
That's right.
Yeah.
No, I'm not.
Can't determine.
I'm not forcing anybody to change. I can't do that. That's a ridiculous expectation that I can't. There's no way I can force anybody to change. I can't do that.
Sure. Before you get into this any further, I love all you guys. I love discussing with all you guys.
Yeah, man.
Roberto, Danny, all Nzo, Yello have to go to work. But
shout out to Channel. We're closing. Shout out to Channel. We're closing up anyways.
Hot Takes Tuesdays. I'm hopefully going to be doing something tomorrow, but I've been a busy man recently, unfortunately. Anyway, all of you are, but peace, guys, man. Love you all.
Peace out,
and Danny.
Yes, sir.
Hope it's cool. Anyway.
We straight,
peace.
bro. We straight.
Peace. Thanks, man. Peace.
I think Nerd Man might be gay and he's scared, Danny.
I don't care. He ain't gonna change my mind, bro. I do not care.
Yello does it. Shout out to Channel. Go ahead, Danny.
I'm just saying.
I'm from the UK.
If I treat you with respect whenever I encounter you, why did I have to be your friend?
You don't.
Okay, that's all I'm saying.
I didn't say you had to be a friend.
I didn't say you. I'm just saying that is
be their friend because
that is my stance. If every time I see you, I treat you respect, you ask for my help, I give you my help, but I just don't roll with you.
You don't even have to give people their help when they ask. I'm not. No one's saying that you have to. Well, I'm sure there are some people saying it, but that's not a realistic expectation that any human could put on another human.
Yeah, that's what I try to do. If I can help you and you ask for help and you treat with respect, I reciprocate that. That's what
Thank you, Bella. I don't think I've ever seen you in the chat before, but thank you for popping in. We do this show every Wednesday. We always try to bring the fire.
Her picture looked familiar though.
I know, eh?
Bell fam.
Like she was on
That's
another.
everybody's favorite line. Yo, do I know you? I know.
You look
I hear
familiar.
I hear you. Yo, you look real familiar to me.
I mean like she was on another picture with a different name. What I'm saying.
Maybe we crossed paths in a past life. I know. I hear you.
Yeah, you know, hey, I think I seen you around before. What's your name? Bell? All right, I remember you. Yello does it. Shout out your channel, brother.
Yello does it, man. Y'all know where to find me at right there, Yello. And I does it. You can find me on the Great Council, man, about 5 times a week. You feel what I'm saying? Breaking down the nerdy news. And yeah, that's it, man. But it ain't about me. You feel what I'm saying? This is about Bigger Fed Entertainment out here. Nzo, this is what y'all came to see. He allows for us to get on here and do this thing. You feel what I'm saying? So shout out to Bigger Fed Entertainment. Subscribe if you have yet to. Like the video, share it on social media.
Much appreciated. Danny Graham, comic chat.
Danny Graham, aka Comic Chat. You can find me Monday nights on the Chaos Central channel. The name of my show is Chaotic Conversations. 4 or 5 topics, 4 or 5 panelists. We try to go ahead and make a good conversation. Make sure you tune in to Nzo's channel again this Sunday. It'll be the last episode of What If, which I did not think was trash, but it should be a very interesting show. So please tune in if you get opportunity. Great show tonight, Nzo. Thank you for letting me come on.
No problem.
Roberto,
I know.
Thank you too.
Oh, you're welcome. I thought I was just like some frozen figure over here.
No, sir.
I'll say this. I know I got a fire topic when I get a text from Danny. He's like, yo, can I come on? I know it's fire when Danny wants to come on.
R.Kelly, boy. I was like, damn.
We haven't touched the popo in a minute, eh, Danny?
Thank
y'all. Don't do that.
And not only do we not do it, Danny tried to send us some bait
positive.
to talk about
positive.
it.
Positive.
Well, yeah, it ended positive, but the fact that the cop threw some
dirty cop, man. I'm all for every dirty cop taking their ass to jail.
The fact that they caught it, the way they went about doing it, that's like almost a perfect world. Everybody be like, nah, that shit didn't happen. You show that to any brother, Danny, they're gonna say that shit didn't happen.
You're right.
Nah, man.
Roberto, shout out your channel, brother.
Trendy Mendy, man. Monday after Ego, just took a little break for a minute because, man, time is just not enough of it, you know. But I'll be back with it. Wednesday night here. Saturday, you find me with these 2 fine gentlemen talking sports, which I love to do. Square one. And that's about it, fellas. People, thank you for showing up. Much love.
Definitely.
Damn, fucking 1 o'clock. What the hell?
Yeah, man. 1:15 to be more precise.
This show does.
Yello lit a campfire.
And that shit
it was nice chilling by the fire, man. I appreciate it. Thank you.
I feel enlightened. I thought it was like 12 something.
I feel enlightened, you know? I haven't had a nice talk I haven't played tennis like that in a minute.
It was very entertaining to watch. I can tell you that.
Glad I could share that moment with you.
But I have nothing but respect for you, Yello. You know that, man. If you don't, you should know now.
There you go. And with that being said, guys, till next week. Appreciate it. See ya. Peace. Good one.